probably turn the volume down. There we go. I showed you my beef. Where are you? Hello. We are here to talk about me. Daryl says, hello, how is everyone? Well, there's only 2 people in here right now, so. Where the hell were you, Stone? Just because you're on vacation doesn't mean that you can leave me lonely and crying and sad like a little bitch. What's up, AG? Once we get some people in here, we'll do a little itty bitty breakdown of the wall. You're a boat. Which way? Who knows? Who cares? Hello. No, officer, I also like aluminum siding. That's my impression of a white person. No idea, Josh, because you will never see me willingly buying a Glock. Also, I don't buy Glocks. Let's wait for more people. I'm going to tell you right now, 700 is too much. Alright, I'm going to spin you around, then we're going to start. Oh, I feel like my nose was bleeding. Not a lot of signal in the middle of the lake. Uh-huh. You're not supposed to tell us where you're burying the body. What the hell is it? Yeah. You're not supposed to tell us where you're burying the bodies. Josh, I mean, honestly, I'm the wrong guy for that. I mean, a 30S should be selling for around 500 to 600 new max. If you're buying one used, you shouldn't be paying more than 350 bucks. Am I still selling the Rock Island Double Stack? Yes, I am. Steve comes in with a $10 donation on the frickin' nose. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Everybody hit the like button for Steve, man. That's awesome of you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Steve. You're an awesome owl, man. So I also put up a couple of guns I forgot to put up last time, including the Canik TP9 SFX, the Arex 01 Tactical. Thank you so much, Goose, if you're ever watching again. Thank you for that. Yeah, I took the 2 Fusion firearms and the DWX back out to the range on Tuesday. So I had a little bit of fun. I'm trying to find a good angle for tonight. I don't know how I want this one. Yeah, Steve. Steve's the man, the myth, the legend. Grayson, send me your Cash App in the Discord, and I'll friend request you. If you had to pick one, Glock 43X MOS or a Shadow System CR 920X, considering they're the exact same gun, just made by different people, I'd probably go with the Glock. Shadow Systems is charging too much for their guns. I don't like how much they charge for their guns because their guns aren't worth that much. Plain and simple, their guns just are not worth that much. They are literally overcharging everybody. It's a Gen 3 clone, and they're charging it more. They're charging more for the Gen 3 clone than they are for a Gen 5 gun. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm not feeling great tonight. I say that a lot because I'm always in pain, but yeah, tonight I'm really not feeling good. bum, bum, bum. Still burns when you pee? I'm sorry to hear that. That's how I feel about it, and my Glock doesn't need a break-in period. Yeah, so Shadow Systems, I don't know what they were thinking. They came out of nowhere, and they were trying to be the same price as a complete Zev build, and they are not Zev. Not even close. Dude, I didn't know you were alive. You are the best. Hello, Mouse. Yeah, I've been going live at 8, just kind of sitting around and seeing if people come in. Trying to fudge with the algorithm a little bit. Do you see, so Diddy only got charged with transportation for prostitution, which means he's getting out soon. Carson, my favorite guns are 1911s. 14.5-inch 6.5 Creedmoor. Thoughts for a battle rifle? It's fine for a battle rifle. I mean, you don't want to go like much shorter than that, but 14.5 is fine. You're driving home from work? No problem. Just come in when you get home, dude. You should have a giveaway every year with some piece of junk gun you don't want. So last year I was doing I used to do giveaways where I was giving away gift cards to like Palmetto and Amazon and all the other places. I really don't want to do a gun giveaway. Also, I got a pimple right here, and it's annoying me. But I also don't want to give away a gun on YouTube because it's against TOS, believe it or not. That's why all the gun channels that give away a gun, they use Fan of Them and a couple other companies to do it. All those people Diddy knows who didn't back him up, he has a new list of enemies. Oh, he's got a long list of enemies. But the question becomes, is he going to R. Kelly it, or is he going to, like Chris Brown with all the women beatings it, where he's going to move on and actually continue to stay free, or is he going to slip up and they're watching him like a hawk? He's going to screw up and go to jail for the rest of his life. Carson, I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. Excuse me, from 8 p.m. until whenever. Panda, what is up? Mike comes in and says hi. It's the said hi. I said hi to you, sir. Wall looking weak. What happened? I took down all the guns that are for sale and only put up guns that I purchased in 2025 so far. So that's why I'm saying help rebuild the wall. Is this what it looks like when you don't have to spend money on a wife and family? No, this is not what it looks like when you don't have to spend your money on wife and family, because I'm also spending money on my business. And because I'm spending money on my business, I wind up spending too many things and whatever. Sorry, I'm trying to find something here. I don't like Cash App's main thing. Hold on a second. I'm doing something here. Yeah, I don't know. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. That's my bad Reagan. Did it send? Did what send? Yeah, it did. Look at you, getting it all figured out. You're such a smart boy. That's awesome, dude. You are getting me an Altor for the channel. That's what that's for, right? You want me to get the Altor 9mm? I'm driving by the ocean. Nice. I hate when laces are not tied. I don't have shoelaces, bro. I'm disabled, so I wear. What do I think about the M1 Garand? The M1 is kind of cool. It's a little bit outdated, but it's a hell of a good shooter. The barrel is $32. Honestly, gotcha. Thank you, barrel is $32. Which place were you finding that, just so I can go ahead and get it ordered? What's up, Z-Straps? I'm extremely disabled, so I literally do that to make myself feel better. Nope, not through that distributor. I don't know what I've been told. Your mama's cooch is kinda old. Altor. I said Altor, not Smith & Wesson, you fuckers. I'll send it to you. All right, do that, dude. Brother Guile, what's up? You're in early. MC says it's early. I love it. How you doing, bro? I think 8 o'clock is the right time to start. Hey, how's the shop doing? Went to the range today with my CZ97B. Shop is just kind of in homeostasis. It's not doing anything right now. It's just kind of plugging along. I got to make it another month, so. Would I say take a SIG over a GPOC? Absolutely. Just woke up. It's past 0800 here. It's just past 2000 here. Green screen. Dude, do you think if it was green screen that I would have such little shitty stuff here? I'm sitting here looking down. All right, got it, bud. All right. So, continue shopping. And where's the barrel? Is the link to the barrel in there as well? This gun is going to shock. Hey, you guys suck. That's all there is to it. Tres barrilotos. Let's look under Altor. Okay, Altor. Touch the back wall. Nope. I see a Canik TP9 SFX. I miss my TP9 SFX. You could get that TP9 SFX. It's got everything except the holster. Philippines is 12 hours ahead of your side of planet. Oh, maybe you're 2 hours ahead of not 10 hours behind my friend who's 6 hours behind my third hour friend. Hi, brother. How are you? I hope you're fine. Before I ask a question, I need an AMR sniper. Don't know what that is. But, no, the weird thing about the Animal Kingdom is they have no problem being island boys. Although one's a boy and one's a girl. One's Milo Shiloh. I have no idea where to find the EBR chassis. Luke, I apologize. What's the best gun to buy as a beginner? As a beginner, you want to go and test how guns feel in your hand. I'll recommend some reliable guns. Glock. They're reliable. They're boring. Smith & Wesson M&P series. Canics. The Walter Pidipis. All right, so give me 1 second here. Where is my wallet? My wallet's right there. You guys don't get to see the card number. Shit, you could if I had done that just a little bit stupider. Lots of people here at the beach right now. I'm right by LAX airport. Well, that just sounds silly. Bro, can you play in PUBG, AMP, Papa Ba? Double action revolver is my favorite. Double actions are okay. The fuck? Hold on. How can there be nobody listed? Well, there's my buddy's place. I could always have it sent to him. I might have to contact him in the morning. For some reason, I'm not listed. 1 second. Yeah, so it should be right there. Oh, I can just pick it up in store. Yeah, I'll have to contact him in the morning, dude. I'll get a hold of him in the morning. Let's get back to the live. Enjoy the shitty gun. Oh, it should be fun. Do I consider the M&Ps boring like Glock? No, they feel better in the hand, and they have back straps that are actually back straps, not clip-ons. They're just better, in my opinion. What's the best place to buy ammo online? AmmoSeek. Thanks for the card info. You're welcome. My friend can answer me. Is there a fake CZ75 first model? In terms of what? This is what I want in my basement. Okay. Do I have the 43X MOS in my store? No, I sold my last one. I can get it though. Hello. How are you, Badin? It's like, why the hell are we having problems? Let's see. There we go. Oh, I wonder if I can just... Yeah, I'll have to add mine. I'm not paying somebody $30. What is 43X MOS? It's a Glock. I am Canadian and I'm looking into restrictions on assault rifles. The Sunshine Clause expired in 2002, so it's only regulated by ATF. Sorry to hear that, Cheney. This armory in your house. Yeah, sure. Why did you sell your 43X MOS? Because I own a gun store. Would I take a nail gun over a Glock? Sure would, especially a cordless one. All you new people, get in here and ask me some questions. Let's have some fun. I'm trying to grow the channel so that I can fill my wall back up. If you guys were here before, you would have seen that I had, you know, $15,000 to $30,000, depending on which day it was, behind me. So I'm trying to rebuild that. So get in here, hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff. MOS is a modular optic system. It only applies to Glocks. What's my beef with Glock? They're boring. They're not innovative, and they're too expensive for what they are. If Glocks were all three, doesn't matter the model. If they're $300, I have no problem with them. But at $500 to $700, they're too much money. Do I have a grenade launcher? No, but I do have a 37 millimeter device. Feel like I'm gonna have the RIA. Hope I can make it before. It's California. Just open the door and lean out. Just bought a Glock 19 Gen 3 in California. Could I have done better? Yeah, you could have moved out of California. Wait, what guns did you sell? So if you go to Wind City Armory, all the guns on there are guns that used to be up on the wall. So, but they work every single time. So do my 1911s. And I'm not paying extra money for the name. What optic setup is on the M1A? It's a Leupold something or other. I set it up for a buddy of mine. It's his stuff. Is gunpowder edible by any chance? Once. Glocks are too generic for their price. Yep. What's your rarest gun? Probably my 1903 pocket hammerless. Is there a 50 state approved firearm? Probably. Did he get robbed? No, I did not get robbed. I took down all the guns that were in the store for sale, and I'm only putting up guns that are 2025 acquisitions. So every year, I'm only going to put up guns that subscriptions, you guys subscribing, liking, donations, and manufacturers have sent to me. So the only guns that go up there are guns that are sent to me and that I purchased with YouTube money. Which is the best gun to shoot underwater? They're all going to be ineffective underwater. Best all-around concealed carry gun. That's a personal choice there, just because you're going to have to decide what's best for you. I like a 1911. It's the most you've ever paid for a firearm. Probably my STI Grandmaster. It's going to be a little bit over $2,500. I'd rather carry a high point over a Glock, unless you let me. You can have a Glock for $300. Hello from Canada. Yes. What is your favorite gun? 1911s. H&K CC9 is the best EDC. That is a hot fucking take, but I'm here for it. Have I ever unalived somebody? No, and you can say the word shot. It's not going to get you banned on my live stream. No, I have never been forced to take a life. I hope I never do, and I pray I never do. So, Mouse is not here. Mouse is up top above you, brother. We can't carry anything. You can carry your pride. It's what happens when you bow down to a king that's 6,000 miles away from you. No, Giovanni, you cannot be a mod soon. I have other people ahead of you, brother. What's your thoughts on Fusion XP Pro? I like it, man. It shoots really well. I filmed some at the range. I need to start editing those videos. But as soon as I get them edited, I'll put them up. Shoots great, man. What do you think about Anderson going out of business? Don't really care. Anderson has never really been like the shit for me. Aaron, covering one of the nails that hold one of the guns. What? I don't know what you mean by that, but thank you for the donation, brother. SIG, compactor, full size. I carry a full size 1911. What's the price of the new Ruger Glock clone thing? It depends where you go. It's anywhere from $399 to $430, I think, is the average. Robert says, have a good evening. Thank you. Hail to your king. Thoughts on Diddy getting away with it? I think they're setting him up like R. Kelly. They're going to let him go and see if he goes right back to his ways. Why can't we turn AR into AR pistol, but we can't turn pistol into AR? Draconian ATF laws, because they're stupid and idiots. Just for the people who does one in MOA mean. Guy is flexing his silver play button in our faces. Tell you what, Ghost, get yourself a silver play button. I'll come and hang out with you, and I'll be like, good for you, instead of being mean about it. Don't be mean about it, Ghost. I earned that. I made myself the butt of a joke to get that. So the Ruger clone is preferred Glock, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, I would definitely take the RXM over it. I'd actually even take the DY9, that lower gun with the gold barrel. That's a Daria arms gun. Did he see? Did he do? Did he do? Apparently he did a little bit. He just meant that the $2 would buy at least a bracket to hold a gun. Gotcha. Well, I appreciate the donation, dude. 1911s are called 1911s. He did pimp. No, he was found guilty for pimping. What are your 2 cents on Sleeper Cell in America? Oh, no, I think you just activated me. Uh-oh. No, wait, I just have the gas. Might have to get one then. You should try it, man. It's definitely fun. Do I have anything Japanese? Not ever since that one lady I was holding hostage got out of the back room. Learn how to snipe with the 30-30. Awesome, dude. It's a good round. It's an intermediate round. It doesn't go out very far, but hey, it's effective. Hello from East Los Angeles. Doc! Fisticuffs you core or you just pull out the gat. Number one, that's just terrible English, but I would rather get in a fist fight before I pull out a gun. Wait, what? No, what I meant is a gun. I know what you meant, dude. I do not have anything Japanese right now. You're making late dinner, some BLTs. Awesome. Any other pistol you recommend buying over Glock? Yeah, Smith & Wesson M&P series, the Walther PDP series, the Canik Meta series. I got this GI 1911. Can I replace the grape safety with the beaver tail? Yeah, you can. You just got to double check because there's 4, they say 2, but there's actually 4 different grip safety designs for the edges and stuff, so you need to verify which one you have. The length of the rear part of the tang of the frame, not the safety itself, but the frame, it comes down to either a point or it's rounded or it is completely flat. You need to look at that and then match it to whichever beaver tail you're looking at. Otherwise, you're going to have to reprofile the back of the frame. Do you have bullpups? I've got a Keltec KS7. I don't really like bullpups. Opinion on Ruger's LCP lineup. It's kind of outdated now. There's plenty of small guns that do a better job than the LCP. Like, I really don't like shooting the Ruger LCPs or even the EC9, guns like that. The LCRs, their revolvers are pretty solid, but I really don't like the LCPs. For proof of residency at an FFL, can I use pay stubs? No. So the only things that count for proof of residency to an FFL is something government issued. So your phone bill does not work. Your gas bill does not work. The registration to your vehicle works. Your voter registration card works. If you already have a concealed carry, that works. But something issued by a business does not work. Looky here, Sonny, all you need is a good old 03 Springfield. You can do whatever you need. But Bullpup is a first Asian-made assault rifle. Okay. Jimbo just woke here in the Philippines, and you were on. How serendipitous. Excuse me, surreptitious is different. What up, Jimbo? You and Guile both just woke up. That's awesome. New strap on the big gun up top. What? New strap on the big gun up top. I'm 45 and I'm not hip, so speaking old person English. I love lever action. Lever actions are fun. Am I Filipino? No, I am not Filipino. I am half Korean. The gun on your wall at the top. If you're referring to the AR rifle, that is a DB-15. It is not new. It's just usually sitting on that wall. Which half? Unfortunately, the penis, Thomas. Crack Korean is different. Roof Korean. What's sling? Oh, that one. That is my buddy's M1A. I put the sight on it as well as set up the front so it can take a suppressor, screw-on suppressor. If you had a 1972 Camaro, what engine would you throw in it? If I had a 72, it's for sale, Patriot. If I had a 72 Camaro, I would probably wind up doing like just an LS swap. What difference between PVAR and M4A1? Not sure, dude. You ask a lot of technical questions, and when it comes to rifles, I don't know shite. Your Chicago area transplant. Gotcha. What's your thoughts on the Smith hammerless? You talking about the revolvers? I like them. Just brought in one for a customer, actually. I read your comment. Your comment doesn't make any sense. You just wrote the word AR. What am I supposed to do with that? Am I supposed to stick it in a pipe and snort it? I mean, I'll try. What about the 3030? What about a 3030? What should my new YouTube channel be about? I don't know. If you're going by your name, I would probably say porn. I don't know what your interests are, dude. Can I dry fire a Springfield or will it damage it? If you have any question about it, get snap caps. In general, if it shoots a center fire cartridge, 9mm, 5.7 by 28, 22 TCM, 40, 10, 45, any of those cartridges, generally they're safe to dry fire. If you have a question at all, get snap caps. They're like $6 to $10 depending on what material they're made out of, and then they take all the question away. I don't recommend 22s being dry fired unless it's a Taurus or a SIG 322. Those two were designed to be dry fired. I really need to have a range day. I hear you, dude. You should put a rubber chicken on the gun wall. It would be lethally funny. I was thinking about covering the wall in ramen since I'm half Asian everywhere there isn't a gun and putting like a price tag on it. And if you donate that amount, I'll take the ramen down. Best bang for your buck firearm. Depends on how you look at bang for your buck. I mean, a lot of the Glock clones are really good, solid value for the money. But I like 1911, so something in a sub $600 1911 that has good sights on it is a bang for the buck for me. You're killing on the comedy. Thank you, Jimbo. I don't know any low Mant Acre AR-15. No. You ever thought of rearranging your wall behind you so they're pointing in the middle rather than all one side? Yeah, I've done that before. I don't like doing it though. I like them all going forward. It's kind of like, whenever I wear the shirt with the American flag and it's pointing in one direction, I like all the guns going one way. Am I the only one who's made my own snap cap? No, for revolvers, I'll just pick up empty shells and call them snap caps. Is that an M14? No, it's an M1A. Glow Boy, he's bored. Well, you've got a big wide mouth. Why don't you go stick a dick in it? I have a Mosin my dad gave me when I was 14 to 15 years old. Nice, dude. What's your favorite gun on the wall? Tonight, probably my favorite on the wall tonight. NGL is still my Dan Wesson DWX since I distressed the shit out of it and it looks like crap. I love it. Probably followed by the T-Sauce because that thing shot immaculately. And then the XP Pro is really growing on me after I shot it. And do I have an AK? Sure do. Ask again. Actually, I'm not even giving you the chance. Bye. Much love from Colorado. Oh, man, they are cucking the crap out of your state. Sorry, dude. What kind of slugs does a shotgun use? Well, you can get different styles of slugs, my friend. You can use 1 ounce, 1.5 ounce. All depends on how long the chamber is. Does it hang to the left? My PP, it hangs straight down into the back. I use a piece of rope and pull it straight back. Grabbed a 92X Performance, probably my favorite pistol. The $400 rebate made it better. Jesus, a $400 rebate on the 92X. That's good, man. Where are you from? I am from Winchester. Also, mommy. Much love in the Tejas. Hello, Tejas. How's it going, Tejas? Get your asses in here. I need you guys to interact with the channel. So Aaron comes in with another $1 dono, and he's #1 in interactions tonight. You gonna let this man get by you guys like that? Come on, come on. $5 if you don't want to be the loser. Much love in Indiana. Indiana, you guys can suck it with your new tolls. Candace, I live in Virginia, United States. So much is in storage, I might move to Florida. I hear you, get over it. Hola, Canada. Do I like the Echelon? I like my Echelon. It's not up on the wall because I needed money for work. I pawn some of my guns from time to time because it gives me extra cash, and that's what I had to do, unfortunately. But yeah, I have the Sharps Brothers frame. Living in London, England, plenty of crime around. Yeah. Sorry, Governor. I know you've got a lot of... I keep going Aussie when I'm trying to do an English accent these days, sorry. Why'd you look like that? Because I saw your mama naked. I'm shopping for groceries right now. Nice, Michael. Why is 5.7 so expensive? Cost of manufacture, also availability. The more they make, the lower the price will eventually go. Why is your eye so far apart? Because I saw your mama naked. What's your favorite 1911? I have a Kimber Repeat Black Ice. Spent a few bucks on it. Wondering if you thought they were up there. I like the Kimber series. The Black Ice. The Repeats are nice. I do want the... what is that? The Dawn. I want the Dawn, not the Dusk. What's the farthest you've ever had to go to get a gun? Well, you have to stay within your state, but I've never had to go far. I own a gun store. Webster, get up some brass knuckles. What? How's business doing? Right now, the recession is really hitting people. More people are trying to sell their guns than are buying a lot of guns, so it's just kind of middling right now. That's why I'm trying to do some work on the business. Someone breaks in. What gun you using? The 1911 in front of me. 40 round for 5.7 on PSA. Yeah. You don't have to be sorry. It's okay, Candace. Don't feel sorry. Don't feel stupid, I mean. I have a few Henry. I've run into an issue where they dropped a hammer out of battery. Luckily, both times it happened was while the gun was on empty. Yeah, no kidding. That's not good. Charter Arms 44 Bulldog. Do you like it? The Charter Arms is okay. I'm not a fan of Charter Arms in general. Their finish is really bad. I know that's a thing to not bitch about since they're a less expensive gun, but right now, finish is a big deal to me because I've had some bad guns with bad finishes lately. Where's the Desert Eagle? Sold it years ago. I'm going to be buying soon, hopefully. Well, we always hope. Unfortunately, hopes and soon don't keep stores open. Wow, I did a 60-second video on the Fusion XP, and it's been doing well today. Lever Action 44 mag, I'm thinking of getting. You should, dude. Everybody says they're fun. I don't own one in 44, but I've heard they're fun. Am I doing anything fun for the 4th of July? I'm just going to light fireworks I got for free and stay home. I'm just going to sit at home eating ramen because I'm broke. Next time I get my paycheck, I'm going to give you about 50 bucks to spend it wisely on something. No, you don't do that, Candace. You don't need to send me any money. Just hit the like button and make sure that you're subscribed. The action was open. That is still kind of crazy that the hammer just fell on that. I'm a felon, so I can't own a gun. Wish I could get my rights back, but it's federal. You can get your gun rights back. It depends on what the felony was. You can still get your state gun rights back. States supersede federal. It's just you won't be able to get anything that's federally controlled. If I could buy any gun right now, what am I buying? SIG X5 Classic 226. I love my free state of Florida. Yeah, but you got to deal with all the people there. I'm doing trap shooting. I'm thinking about upgrading from my cheap 20-gauge shotgun. When I should get, I have the budget for a nice over-under 12, but I don't know if I should spend it. If you're doing competition and you want to be at the same level as everybody else, you're going to have to start spending some dough. If you're just talking about like normal shooting, I wouldn't waste the extra money. Speaking of ramen, I had some today. Yeah, I eat it sparingly. I don't like the taste in the long term. Ramen is actually terrible for you. Non-violent drug offender. Yeah, well, talk to a lawyer. You do have to wait 10 years, but you can usually get them back in your state. Candace says you're funny. Thank you. You're going into the Trap Nationals next week. Nice. You just got a second job again. Well, then fucking don't worry about spending any money, dude. Just fucking work on your, dude. Save that money because it's getting pretty bad out there. With the recession and all this shit that's happening, like, I'm just making sure my loan payments are paid right now. I'm not even worrying about, like, excelling as a store right now, just until we see what the frick's going on. Um, you can get an air gun anyways, and anything black powder that isn't convertible. So once I start getting better checks, I can grab some more guns. Yes, you do, dude. There you go, bro. Your honest opinion on the G2C Taurus? It's fine. It works fine now, man. Been about that now. Yeah, the best thing to do, Matt, is go and seek out a gun lawyer, a two-way lawyer in your state. It's going to cost you money to get your rights back, but you might as well have somebody that does it for a living help you through the process. Can I at least give you $49? Candace, I'm not going to stop anybody from doing what they want. I'm just saying only do it if you want to. I don't come on here and beg you for money. Anybody, not you specifically, but I don't beg for money. People send me money because they want me to do stupid shit, and I'll do it. But I don't want you to ever feel like donating to the channel makes you a better person or get you into a higher standing with me. Just being consistent, hanging out, commenting, chatting. Like Justin's the cheapest fuck I know, and he's still one of my mods. I just hope you're listening, Justin, because that was for you. It's recessionary. Yeah, it is, dude. Nothing is affordable. And you're not kidding, Adam. What do I think of the FN SCAR? It's too much money. Thoughts on shorts and suppressors being a $0 tax now? It effectively turned it into a registry under the 1937 Supreme Court case. Is illegal to keep a firearms registry. Because all they did was eliminate the tax, but they're still calling it a regulated item and an FA item. Technically, it's not a registry when it's a registry would indicate that it's something that covers the entire context of what it is. A suppressor, an SBR, SBS, etc. Those are things that you personally you're going out and seeking. It's not infringing on a right since the firearm is not on the registry. Got any Black Aces Tacticals? No, I can sign up for them, though, in an instant, and all I have to do is buy even one gun. I've been looking into black powder revolvers, but I don't know enough about them. They're interesting, but they take forever to load, man, so they're not my style. What do you think about us being best friends forever? I'm thinking about coming to see you. That's getting a little close to being creepy. You got to send me some emails. We got to have some chats. Lose the hat. You don't have enough money. Thanks, man. Talked to a main game warden. He said I should try because I got a scholarship from the main game warden association to go to school when I graduated school. Yeah, man. Like I said, get a lawyer, dude. Spend the money. If you that serious about wanting your rights back, spend the money. Favorite pistol of all time, 1911s. Grayson again said hi. Okay, they are keeping a registry who paid the tax. If the tax is now $0, they are just registering who had it. That would be a constitutional violation legally. No, not really. You're kind of walking around the wrong side of it. It's not a registry just because there's no dollars involved. There's nothing ever saying anything that the tax was the reason it was a non-registered firearm. It's still a federally controlled item that requires regulation. So I get where you're coming from, but you're kind of walking around the side of it. You're trying to make the argument what you're trying to make it, accepting what it actually is. It's still an NFA item. They just removed the tax. It's still an NFA item. So it's not what it's doing. No, I'm his best friend. Give me back my orange. Where's the Mark IV? It's up in the store. What happened to the guy we were telling to get his rights back? He's been chatting. If you want to go ahead and file a lawsuit citing that case, I would be 100% behind it. But you're quoting a 1937 court case, fine, but it hasn't been brought up or re-registered under a new complaint. So until it gets filed under a new complaint or until somebody files stating that it's a registry under the current legislature or the current literature under which it's currently housed, it isn't. It's not something until somebody does something about it. So you need to actually pressure somebody. Well, there you go. That's exactly what I'm saying, McPherson. Until somebody gets it. So it's the same thing, and I'm not trying to put it in the same category, McPherson, but what you're doing by citing case law without pushing it through in any way to ratify it or make it so is the same thing that sovereign citizens do when they claim that they're following Black's Law, which was a law that was ratified out in 1978 anyway. But because you're just stating case law without actually pursuing it, it's not what you're claiming it is until it's been decided that it is. So once it gets decided in the same way that you're saying it is from the 1937 case, if they can push it through it under that classification and the Supreme Court or whoever's taking up the case agrees with that finding, then it becomes a registry. But until that gavel comes down on the situation, it's not what you're saying it is until it is made in text, in writing, under law. So if you want to keep doing that, it's fine. I understand where you're coming from. This is the last I'm going to speak on it. You need to put, in my opinion, or I feel that. The orange just sits at my house like the Glock 18 is going to sit at yours. Yeah. I don't want the court opinion. I don't know, my leg hurts. Why is your leg hurt? How do minors in the Middle East get their hands on AKs, but I ain't even allowed to have a 22 short? No idea, dude. What do I think about the Hearing Act bill? So I'm not following everything until the final issuance of everything goes through, but, you know, it is what it is, man. Climbing ladders for 10 hours. Nice, dude. Am I able to send people PR boxes? PR boxes? You mean am I able to send to PO boxes? In Michigan, we have a pistol registry, and I get my pistol in 20 to 30 minutes. Nice. Nothing beats the old trusted Marlin. Marlins are nice. I've got a 4570 1895, an older one. What do I think of the Milton Bradley 47 with the flat trigger? No idea. Looks like a Ruger hunting rifle up top. That is a Springfield M1A, and it's a Friends that I'm setting up. What do you think of the PSA Dagger full size? It's fine. Quality control is always an issue with Palmetto State stuff, so just check it really good. Anyone World War III maxing in the Big 25? Not sure. All regulations and laws are violations. I feel stupid asking this question, but can you order a gun? Yeah, I can always order a gun. What do you think of Buffalo for 9mm? Buffalo bore? Buffalo bore is pretty good if that's what you're referring to. McPherson, I'm not talking about it anymore. Until there's a final ruling, there's no point. Don't chase brand names. I agree with that. If I buy a PSA Dagger, will I be able to complain about Glock? No. We want you to make the final ruling right here, right now. New hot 22 loads. I haven't shot a lot of new super hot stuff. What are reverse rifled barrels? Is it like Australian? They spin the other way? I guess if you don't have a rotating barrel, it really wouldn't matter. How was the range yesterday? Hot as shit. I filmed 3 guns. I shot the XP Pro, my DWX, and the XF Pro. Glock is hands down the best working gun, meaning everyday use. No. Glock is hands down the best marketing for a gun on the market. Thoughts on Bilson Arms pump style charging handle? Never put my hands on one, Pat. Reverse rifling, it goes the other way. Oh, gotcha. As long as the gun is accurate, I don't care which way they rifle it. I don't care if it's got no rifling and it just sends the fucking round tumbling as long as it goes the exact same way every time. It's the greatest gun ever, in your opinion. The one that ignited the universe. It's been pretty hot lately, making it hard to hit the range. Yeah, so luckily the range I use, at least there's a lot of trees. So even though it was like 95 degrees, and at least I was in the shade. But I had to keep on jumping into the truck and using the AC. What are the lights on the gun? Which gun? The Echelon is better than Glock. Yeah, it is. So a couple of them are different ones. So that's a Warrior Land EDC light. It's rechargeable, but I can't find the cable. That one's got an Olight Balder S. That one's got the NPL 27 from Nightcore. And that one has my Surefire X300. Thoughts on indoor ranges? I've only shot at one, and it's fine to me. Canik TP9 has the absolute smoothest trigger in the world. Prove me wrong. 1911s. What's the length barrel on the Fusion? 4 inches. Do I have a grenade launcher? Yes, I have a 37 millimeter grenade launcher. Are those inline flip-up sights or offset on the AR? There's some cheap-ass offsets. So I bought the gun from a guy who needed some money, and those are Amazon special sights. So I just left them on there. Figured to make it interesting to somebody that's on a budget. Is the O sight any good? Looks like a cool concept, but bulky. The glass is weak on them, so be careful. What's your EDC? 1911. 1911, folks, low capacity. Yeah, it's called AIM. You have a Garrison 1911, not as smooth as the Canik. Then there's something wrong with your Springfield Garrison. A 1911, well, it's probably because the Garrison might be a Series 80, but a 1911 literally interacts with one part of the gun. So unless something's wrong with your gun, there is no trigger that is better than a 1911. Not even a good CZ trigger is better than a 1911. The Canik trigger is a precock striker with a trigger bar and 5 parts that have to move in congruence with each other in order to function. It's an awesome trigger, I'll give you that. But there's no way it's better than the trigger in my STI Grandmaster or my my DWX or even that T-Sauce. What's the best 1911 for Plinking? Anyone you own, not a cop. I said this once, I'm going to say it again. That'll appreciate that he's still here. What happened on April 17th? Yep. Thank you, though. What do you think about Z-Paps? Z-Paps are good. Buy Kimber and you'll bitch about all your other guns, even the Beretta X. I need to buy just a bone stock Kimber, a new one, and see what it's about. All my Kimbers that I currently have, I've had to do a little bit of tuning to them. Do I like those 22 conversion kits for a SIG 229? Never tried one. My Nighthawk trigger is nice, yeah. All right, Shay, now you're just trying to mess with people. It's fine, whatever. How reliable is a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard? 1.0, they're solid, but they suck to shoot. 2.0, a little better. So a 1911 is not a gun, but part of one? No, a 1911 is a gun. I saw the truck post. What truck was it? That one was my dad's 2006 Dodge Ram Night Runner. It had a fuel leak, and believe it or not, the easiest way to fix a fuel leak is to take the bed off because there's only 6 bolts in the taillights. But he also wanted to re-undercoat the truck. You can see there's a little bit of surface rust on the rails and stuff. So he's going to redo the whole frame while it's off the back half, and eventually we're going to take the cab off too. For a striker fire gun. So let's do a tier list. Striker fire gun. Walther PDP, Canik. Those are the number 1, number 2. Hammer fired guns. 1911, CZ Shadow Series. The Tactical Sport is part of the Shadow Series. So 1911, Tactical Sport, single action 226. Glock is way down here in the trash because it's just a reliable trigger. It does nothing for anybody. Do you have a favorite brand that sells 1911s like Colt, Smith & Wesson, etc.? Nighthawk Customs. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing is better than anything. Nothing is better than a Glock. As in, nothing is better than a Glock. Hello, everyone. Air Max, what is up? Nighthawks are like $2,000. Nighthawks are like $4,000. If you're buying a Nighthawk for $2,000, it's a cheap one or it's used. Thoughts on Trijicon Red Dots? I like PewView. He's a really good shooter, really fast shooter, and a really significant, a really accurate shooter. And he says the RMRs are shit because they keep breaking on them. So I like the RMRs. I'm not paying $600 for one, though. Mossberg Pro 940, your opinion? I've got the 930, and I really like that one. I've never felt a reason to step up to the 940, but the 940 shoots really nice. Is the two-colored gun in the middle beneath the AR partly 3D printed? Which one are you talking about? The silver one? That is the Fusion Firearms XP Pro. It is all metal. The grip is actually aluminum. Is that a 14? No, it's an M1A. You got your Nighthawk for $2,800. You got it for $2,800 because it was used. That's what I was saying. It's either used or damaged. Joe, the bread is amazing. You're amazing. Oh, you got it. Awesome, dude. I'm glad it got to you okay. What's the best semi-auto marksman rifle? Any of them. Opinion. I already gave my opinion. See, the Dodge Ram trucks are using plastic for the upper A-arms? That can't be right. Are you shitting me? Are you sure they're not plastic coated? No. That's crazy. Everyone make sure to hit the like button. Hey, Joe, I went through your old shorts and they're fire. I know, dude. You were leaving some deep cut comments, dude. Like on the CMMG Banshee when I only had 6 guns to my name. All right, so it is not all plastic. It's metal encased in thermoplastic, Tommy. I just looked it up. So, yeah, it is metal encased in a thermoplastic, so it looks like a plastic part. What other pistol do you recommend to buy? I have the single action XDM Elite. Buy a 1911, trust me. You own an M1 carbine if you do. What's your thoughts on it? I don't anymore. I liked it, but I never shot it, so. Concussion, what is up? Jiminy, I might pick up a Nighthawk CQB for like $19.90 because it's my friend's. That would be a hell of a deal, dude. When you hate it, I'll give you $19.91. Yeah. Most cars are plastic now, and it's sad. Yeah, but for a suspension component, you really don't want to be running that. Chanson, what is up? How you doing tonight? You doing a live later? Everybody go over to Chanson's channel. Subscribe to the man. He needs to get up there. He needs to catch me. Am I weird for keeping my firearms in cases instead of having them out? No, absolutely not. You do what you want to do, man. I keep mine out because I have them on display for the lives, but they always go back into a safe when I'm done. What is the blue and silver pistol below your YouTube plaque? Those are 3D printed signs. For my first weapon, should I get an AR pistol or a shotgun? I don't know you, sir. I don't know what your use case is. Get whichever one you think you'll have more fun with. The AR gives you more versatility than a shotgun. What do I prefer, a SIG or a Beretta? A SIG. New Canic back there? No, I've owned that one for a while. That is a TP9 SFX. I just didn't have it up on the wall for the last stream. What's your favorite AR? My personal one. My private built one. What gun would Doc recommend from Back to the Future? Marty! I don't recommend a gun, but you should get a... What did he have? Didn't he have a cheap-ass 38 or something? We ciao, crazy Americans. Ciao, Bella. Live in about an hour. All right, dude. Do you keep your bedside in a safe? If so, what is the pros and cons of it? I do not. I keep the 930 Tactical within arm's reach of the bed. I keep the AR-15 in another location, and I keep the 1911 in a holster on the bed. What year is your RAM? My personal RAM is a 2015. Good evening, everybody. Texas Gal, what's up? Shotgun, good crown control, short barrel. I'm going to stand up and show off the guns that are in there. Thinking about turning my pontoon into a tri-toon, going to cost about $5K. Uh-huh. But you don't want to buy my Grandmaster, but you want to put a third tune on your boat. I see how it is. You want to spread some love. Hope you have a great stream and a safe 4th. You too, Tom. Used to have the TP9 Elite Combat. Click, no bang, no primer strike. Sold it. Oh, that's sucky. I got a 5.7 on my nightstand. I don't need people to answer my questions. Got a Canik Meta SFT Pro and a Rite RXP. Free shipping. Did I do okay? On the Rite, yeah. On the SFT Pro, yes. Those are actually really solid prices. Sprecht love with dem guns. I masturbate with them all the time. On the bed is a little excessive for a bedside. I keep mine on the nightstand. I'm single and I don't have children, so just be careful when you wake me up. I don't see any revolvers. Why? They're awesome too. Because this is the 2025 wall. I have not purchased any revolvers in 2025. I keep a Taurus under my pillow. I wake up to a 1911 instead. That's called the Gun Fairy. If I had the money, I'd buy all your guns. Hey, if you had the money, I'd sell you all my guns. What do you recommend for home defense? Shotgun. I'm going to show you guys the wall. There's not much up there, but these are 2025 purchases. So that's why they're up there. We're going to rebuild the wall. So I will tell you where the guns came from as well. Exotic Ammo sent me the TAC 79 37mm tube launcher. So awesome. YouTube Money bought the Daria Arms DY9. Fusion Firearms sent me the XF Pro, which if you watch the short, I haven't cleaned it yet. It's very dirty. You can easily see it the way this thing does light. But that thing shot amazing. I'm very happy with it. Rock Island sent that out for testing. I'm considering keeping it. MC needs to win the lotto. You ain't kidding. The Dan Wesson DWX, I de-stressed the trigger a bunch, so now the trigger fits in with the whole distressed look. Still love shooting that gun. Stone's T-Sauce, yes, it is Stone's, and yes, I'll be sending it back this week. Fusion XP Pro, very nice, or I'm going to send it back next week. T-Sauce BR9, the Arex 01 Tactical, and Canik TP9 SFX. So I got a lot of spots. If you guys want to support, Grayson has sent me the money to buy an Altor since he can't send me one. So he paid for an Altor. Little cheap $100 single shotgun that I'm going to drill and tap for a red dot mount. No, it is not a giveaway. You liking T-Sauce okay? That one is great. As people know, I had some troubles with them in the past. I've already discussed what their issue was. And the fact that my video, I don't have to take it down because I wasn't wrong in my accusation on them. Boom, boom. Daniel Defense, 300 blackout next to bed, shotgun next to closet, FNX on next to wall next to switch, Mac 5 next to wife dresser. Nice. I like rifles, but I love my handguns. I'm a handgun guy too. Was your screen before the live on Mosin 9130? Yes, it's a 1942 Russian. Unfortunately, it does have import marks on it, but it is a numbers matching 1942. Do I mill slides? No, I do not. Tom says, thanks. Yeah, you can fire whatever you want as long as you are in your house. Ha! Try that one, bro. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. So if anybody asks what's on the wall, just tell them to go to the 9 o'clock hour, 1 hour in. Do I have a Desert Eagle? No, sold my Desert Eagle. Who has the best quality control for handguns between SIG, Smith & Wesson, CZ, and Springfield? I'm probably going to say Smith & Wesson. I rarely hear about bad shit from them. CZ, with the Dan Wesson shit, I'm taking them off the board. Springfield is fine, but they import a lot of stuff from overseas. And SIG, I'm not even putting them up there right now because their fucking finish was terrible. Jacksonville, Florida, checking in. What's up? I've noticed a faulty weld on my Glock 19 slide, and there was a 0.23 gap on the left side. A faulty weld? There should be no welds on a slide. Is it legal to shoot the birds that are flying over your property? If you live on property where it's legal to hunt and shoot guns, yes. If you live in the city or like in Virginia under, I think it is 2 acres or something like that, and you're within 150 feet of a road, nope. What does the import looks like? So I got some symbols stamped into mine. No, this is from the American importer, where they just kind of stipple into the name onto the side of the receiver. It's not cool stamps or anything. USP 45 is an amazing shooting gun, but it is a little bit overpriced. If you can find one on sale, that would be cool. Any Glocks? Not that I'm willing to put on the wall, because all of the Glocks I own were bought back in 2022, 2021. You have a hunting license. Okay. You've got a 50 GI. Guncrafter International's 50 caliber is kind of cool. Is that all your guns? No, those are all the guns that I've decided to put up on the wall from 2025. There's actually like 7 that are missing, but I had to pawn some for money because life fucking sucks sometimes. So I'm just getting by. What's your opinion on micro AR pistols? Micro AR pistols are kind of silly, but they run. CZ owns Colt. Yes, they do. How about the M41? I've never been to England. Do I got a deagle? Not anymore, Kylie. I sold mine. Eminem says facts. Yeah, no, man. Times are hard. I'm not selling my guns that I want to keep, but I can borrow against them because I've got buddies that own pawn shops and shit, so I get favorable rates. Yes, the rounds for a 50 AE Desert Eagle are expensive. They're in the $2 range per round. How do you know if a gun has an empty case, but they set it in front of you? You pick it up and rack it. Not a Mini 14, it's an M1A. I bought it off a guy at a flea market. Maybe he did some DIY repairs on it. Still a little flig, but shoots decent. There's a shoddy weld on the inside of the slide. There should be no welds. They're cut from single pieces. You used to pocket carry your deagle. Yeah, I think you talked about that one. Do you have a plastic guns? I've got some BB guns, yes. Has your store been robbed? Not yet, but you're more welcome to try. What's up from New Jersey? Hey, New Jersey. I'm interested in the Storm Carrier. Shadow Carry 2 cool factor. Why? I said I did. I said, oh. No, I used to do it in the store for fun, but I've never, like, all day. Yeah, no, that's why I was thinking Stone. Just tell me when. Where's the barrel from on the bottom Glock? It's not a Glock. It's a Daria DY9. It's actually factory. What do you EDC? In 1911, my good sir. Just got my Glock 17 back from the gunsmith. Got new sights on it. Much easier to aim now. Yeah, that's actually one of the first things I would do to my Glocks, too, is change out the sights. I usually go with a blacked out rear sight with a fiber optic front. No, you like getting robbed, but not armed. Then the robber sets it and aims at you. How do you know if it's empty? Like, can you tell? No. Lycan! Holy shit! Thank you, dude. Oh, nice. That thing looks stupid. I also feel stupid. Don't feel stupid, Jose. It looks like a custom Glock. It's fine. Do I have a 50 cal? No, sold mine. Where are you from? Virginia. Would you buy turquoise grips for? Would you buy them for my store? Why would I buy them? What do you mean? In what respect? Are you trying to sell some? Did I see my Cash App? I did not look at my Cash App. Hold on a second. Whoa! Mouse came in. Thank you. Thank you so much. $50 from Mouse. So Lycan and Mouse are tied tonight. Yeah, Lycan and Mouse, man. They're the king donators tonight. Thank you. Well, technically Grayson is top right now because he donated enough to buy an Altor 9mm and a barrel. I own 2 shotguns. I love so Grayson, Mouse, Lycan, you are my kings tonight. Unless you're a girl, Lycan, I can't remember. Are you a girl or a guy, Lycan? I own 2 shotguns. I love them both. I'm the very, very different ways. 590S and a Kel-Tec KS7. Yeah, nice, dude. Somebody send $69. Dude, you want me to say nice? You send it. You're a guy. All right, cool. Thank you. I don't know why. Something in my brain told me that you were a hot chick. What do you think about the Taurus G3C? I just purchased one. For the dollar, they're hard to beat, Legend. They're very reliable if you take care of them, keep them clean, and keep them oiled. They're pretty solid. It's so hot that the AC in this building has been going off nonstop. Do I have a shotgun? I would never have a shotgun. I would keep it whole. You like Ruger? Yeah, Ruger's all right. $50 makes everyone prettier. Not me, dude. Usually costs you guys hundreds to get me to wear the titties. What kind of bullets do you recommend for 9mm? Hornady, critical duty, critical defense, or federal HST? Yo, there's furries before your stream. That's cool. I don't control what goes on before my stream, sir. That's some good beer money right there. Good thing I don't drink, but I go to the range, man. Spent $80, $90 just on ammo. Hello, Colby. What is going on tonight? How you doing? What is the handgun you want most, or do you already own it? Currently, the one I want right now is a SIG 226 X5 Classic. Up until now, I've been looking for a DWX optics cut, and I got one, and now I'm pissy about it. Would you recommend the 226 Legion RX single action only? Yeah, absolutely. It's a little expensive, but they're good guns. How could you not have a shotgun? I've got multiple shotguns, Camden. Favorite World War II guns? 1911s. Since you have a Glock tattoo, it's technically your sidearm. Well, it's actually technically my G spot, but yes, I do like the name, the nickname sidearm better. So I almost got a Cane Corso, but I got to save up for the adoption fee because it's fucking expensive to adopt a dog too. Plus, it's a Cane Corso, so I need to buy like 800 pounds of food. How much would it really be for me to drop a $200 DV charge? A what? Matador. That's the SIG I want to buy too. However, I really want to get a Geisley Super Duty, so it's one or the other. Yeah, your heart will tell you, dude. If I could only take one gun off the wall, which one you would take? I don't like that game, V-Drop. Because if I'm limited to only one gun, I'm not going to take any gun, because it's not worth it. You just got a Cane Corso? Yeah, so the one I was looking at was a Cane Corso Myanmar mix, and it was like nearly 100 pounds. Pretty crazy. Legend, I had problems with my G3 Sim mags. Buy some 226 mags. Good idea with the dog. If the apocalypse happens, you have fresh meat. Or being Korean, I just want to have a travel snack. Tyrone, what's up? Will it be more or what when I want my gun rights back? Judge me too much. Will it be more or what? Oh, to get your gun rights back? I don't know. I've never had to go through that process. I apologize, sir. You should be speaking to a lawyer on that. Cane Corso, the dog that will jump through your windows to get a squirrel. It was between that and a Doberman, and I'm still trying to save money. Which breed was Marmaduke? I think he was kind of based off of like a Mastiff. Trigger would be best for a Gen 3 Glock. That's going to come down to your personal preference. I run Steel City Arsenals in my Gen 3s. They're like $90. Patriot is still here, just at work, so mostly listening. Nice. Cane Corsos are good dogs. They take a lot of training. That's why I want to get a male one, because they have a better temperament for training. They're also a little bit bigger than the females, and they have a better temperament for training. My dog is an Australian Shepherd. Right, woof. G'day, woof. Woof. The only ones that are those that take the flag out. I'm just being honest. I'm afraid to have one. Well, then don't get one. Mine's a puppy named Henry Walker Repeater. Nice. I'm going to name mine Shelby. I'm subscribed, bro. Loving the lives. Thank you, Valley. I just got a Maine Coon as big as a dog and really docile. Yep, Maine Coons are awesome. Used to have one when I was younger. You have a 308. Yes. Shield Plus versus CSX E-Series versus Bodyguard 2.0. Well, the Shield Plus and E-Series are both 9 mils versus the Bodyguard, which is a 380. So the 380 is already out. I'd probably take the Shield Plus over the CSX, but I would take the CSX over nothing. Marmaduke was a Dane. Oh, was he a straight Dane? I thought he was more of a Mastiff. Would you mill it by better? I can't read that one. I have a black lab who is smarter than most people. That is true. I love this. Craig, nice. Thoughts on SD9 2.0? They're fine, especially for the money. I wish they'd give you 2 mags, though. Raise it by $10, throw in a second mag. Hello, would you know a better molecular packing solution for a 160mm bore pipe bomb to minimize trapped air? I've been using PBX 9501 in a C4 1/4 mix. Unfortunately, Wizard, I can't give you that information. You'll have to go to atf.gov. They have a FAQ page there. You do have to enter in your personal information, but their level of detail is much higher than I do. What are the main things about a 19 or a 2011 that you'll like? Size, weight, and the trigger. The trigger on a 1911 cannot be beat. It was a good video. Timney Alphas are the best Glock trigger in my honest opinion. Well, there you go. They're on the pricey side. That's why I don't recommend them. What Glocks do you have? I've got a few. Potbelly Pig or Cockatiel as a pet. I'd rather have the pig. I don't like birds. You ever seen a wet owl? No thanks. Do I have a 300 mag? No, I do not have a 300 Win mag. Perfect reason why I know their gay country fucks with us, because guys like you, brother, live on USA. What the fuck did you just type? That's all crazy. You don't see any Glocks. Because I haven't bought any in 2025. I don't give a shit about them. Technically, I bought 2 this year, but I already got rid of them. Your thoughts on the slide scope? What do you mean a slide scope? Do I want your ferret? You're being very forward, and that should be done in a DM. But no, I don't want a ferret. Ferrets are cool, but I'm not a big fan of ferrets. What 2 Glocks did you buy? A 19 and a 17. Best ARP barrel length. What caliber? Wearing that hat won't hide them lizard eyes. They're not lizard eyes. They're blue eyes. One blue this way, one blue that way. Oh, god damn, that's a deep cut, Roy. What are your thoughts on the police? Well, it depends on if you're trying to get me to say something inflammatory about them or if you're actually asking. There are way more good cops than there are asshole cops, but you only hear about the bad ones. How many guns do you own? At least 5. Do you have a fortune? No, but I used to go to the Chinese restaurant twice a week. You should get a real sloth. I don't think you're allowed to own one legally. 5.56 ARP barrel length. I wouldn't go under 10.5. Glock 17 or 19. Like I said, I bought both and sold both. Best energy drink in your opinion? Blood. What are your thoughts on extended mags for carry guns? It's not getting my pinky around the grip, just something I should get used to. For your initial concealment, you should, if you're worried about printing, carry the factory flush mag and then carry the extended mag as your backup. Please tell me he ran out of protection money in prison. I don't know, but he's getting out soon probably the way he is. I want to buy a Snow Tiger. Interesting. I saw like 8 cops on my way home. It was like an hour or less drive. They were all bored. Nice gun, bro. Thank you, George. There is no Glock 19. I already said I sold them already. Thoughts on the switch scope? I don't know what that is. I wouldn't go under 11.5. Crazy what an extra inch will get you. So 10.5 with VMAX and a 1-7 twist will compensate pretty well. Do you have a Whataburger? No, I'm over in Virginia. We've got 5 guys. How much is the AR? Go to WinCityArmory.com. I don't discuss prices for guns that are for sale. Do you like Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches? I haven't had one. Best gas block length. The most typical one is a 750. So, favorite non-YouTube videos to binge. There's the What If channel. The What If channel, they explore space and stuff. It's kind of funny. They have this animated character named Chase that dies in every episode. I know this is a gun channel, but do you mess with knives? Not personally. I sell them in my store, but I've just got a few basic knives for myself. I live in a super blue state. I hope the gun restriction should be lifted soon, but that's just wishful thinking. Pretty much. What do I think about the Colt 6940? I don't know what that is. Didn't you have a Tanfolia or however you spell it? I do, but that wasn't a 2025 build, and it's for sale. 14.5 EOTech with magnifier, ready mag adapter, waffle stock, magazine, 30 cal can. There you go, Observer. What's up? My Fanacanic, yes. Would I ever join a police service? No, I would not. I wanted to join the military when I was younger, but I'm disabled. Favorite gun is 1911s. What is my favorite cheap day snack? Pistachios. If you get a big bag, they are like $7, but they last a long-ass time. I want to get the BCA 4.5 or 4.75 300 blackout up there. Yeah, that's a flashbang waiting to happen. Do you want to buy an AR from a gun store, but online, how does signing papers work, and what about the background check? You don't. If you buy it online, it has to be shipped to your local store, and when you go to pick it up, you have to do a background check just as if you were buying one of their in stock. Would any of your knives impress a Crocodile Dundee? I've got a couple of the full-size K-bars. Can you do a live one day showing how to clean a gun the right way? No, because you can't handle or manipulate a firearm on a live stream. If I were to get a larger caliber pistol, it'd probably be a Glock 20 and 10 mil. That seems like a sensible choice. I don't need anything fancy, just effective. It's hard to beat it. If all you want is reliable, go that way. Everybody, that is a green screen. Jake, if it was a green screen, do you think it would have half the guns that it has had every time since before now? Come on, son. Green screen, prove it. Sure, no problem. I'll just ban your dumbass. Bye! Best concealed carry barrel length. It's more about the ammo. No, but you can sit and stare at my sloth. What about on a short? I can make one on a short, but it's hard to do a good video in a short. 3 minutes is the length. He just said you can't handle it. Yep. Have you a vertical and horizontal mill, no CNC machine? What gun would you build? What type? An open bolt or closed bolt? I would just build a custom 1911. The guy live under me, he's in the bath with all his guns. So is it just me? And I don't want to like say that I'm one of the ones that started this whole bullshit thing, but outside of like Brandon Herrera and some of the million plus channels, am I the one that started the whole fucking gun wall shit? Like the resurgent recently? Like everybody's doing it the exact same way. Ever put my hands on an Atlas? No, I haven't, Grayson. I really want to. I heard they're amazing. I want to get my hands on an Atlas Erebus. I'm about to get married, but my future wants a bachelorette party. Should I let her? I'm afraid to lose her. Any recommendation? Incognito, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're afraid to lose the woman you're about to marry in a bachelorette party, you shouldn't be getting married. You're too insecure in the relationship. How'd you get into guns? A buddy of mine was starting a gun store, took me to the range and let me shoot some of his guns, and I found I really liked it. And then when I found the 1911 platform, I realized I really liked shooting 1911s. I'm probably skipping your comment because you're either asking something that's being held or you're asking something that I don't feel like answering. This is America, son. If I don't want to answer your question, I'm not going to answer your question. You brought gun walls back. Nice. Hickok talked about gun laws a lot. Excuse me. No. Is a Ruger AR-556 worth buying? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. King of Karate, PDP versus VP9. I prefer the VP9's aesthetics, but I do like the shootability of the PDP a little bit more than the VP9. I think the PDP has better options for grips and stuff. 5.7 cartridge is fine. 5.7 is fine, but it's expensive, so it's not like a preferred. I'm embarrassed to admit that I've been in the military for 10 years and private security nearly 10 years. I only recently just started to collect guns for myself. I'm up to 6. Don't be embarrassed about that, man. A lot of people that are in law enforcement, in the military, things like that, a lot of dudes that are in service are not gun guys, you know? A lot of them literally will carry their service gun and then a secondary version of their carry gun. Did you hear about Demo Ranch retiring? Dude, you're behind the times. He did that a month ago. Evan, I don't answer that question, man, but I guess I'm going to answer it. Shotgun. You want two Automag 5s for your EDC. Interesting. I like the YouTube videos. Oh, yeah, like the British guys that like to try barbecue all the time. Any thoughts on the new Garins offered by CMP? I've seen a few of them in hand light, but it becomes the Garand of Theseus. Yes, the receivers originally, but they're restocking them, putting new bolts in them, putting new barrels on them, and going through all the internals. So is it really a Garand anymore? Why don't you refrigerate your drinks for all the love of all that is holy? Because I actually prefer warm drinks. Do you like lime cucumber Gatorade? I've never tried it. Dude, I love Monster White energy drink. If you leave it in your car on a sunny day so it gets nice and hot and drink that shit, holy crap, it tastes amazing. Handguns are ridiculously collectible, just like felonies, speeding tickets, parking tickets, and wives. Welcome back to 1920, brought to you by cigarettes. Don't forget to give your kid a cigarette. If they're being uppity, give them a Marlboro. Also, a shot of whiskey. Found my wife at a bachelorette party. She was a future bride. Just kidding. Lol. Well, that explains why I want an AR-15 and a Beretta. I'm very, very familiar. I would love to have them for myself. Do it, bro. Which wall do you want to rebuild? Both of my walls. I took all the guns down that were not 2025 acquisitions. Monster Energy tea drink? I'm not a big fan of tea. My CMP is all right. It's field ready, so it's old parts. So that's better. I like that. But the minute you buy a 00, which is what they call it when it's a full rebuild that's never been fired, they call it a 00. Then they're not. I don't consider those original Garins anymore. They're resto mods. Pop Rocks and Pepsi. Ripid energy drinks are really hardcore and really bad for the body, but really tasty. I've never had one of those. I've got AS in my neck. What's your disability? I have multiple problems. I have cluster headaches. I have MCTD, mixed connective tissue disorder, which is a autoimmune disorder. I have compressed vertebrae in my neck, causing nerve damage. I'm also allergic to all antibiotics, so I wouldn't be able to join the military just because of that. I couldn't be given anything in the field. I'm also non-reactive to opioids. Fracking brilliant. You like hot Gatorade? Damn. Yep. Gonna have to try the hot white monster now. Dude, I'm dead serious. I drank one on accident without thinking. It was in one of the ones with the twist on top, and I was thirsty, so I drank it, and hot, it tastes... You know how people like warm milk or hot chocolate? Same thing. Mine's a conglomerate of old M1 Garins. That's fine. Nice little water guns all over your wall, bub. Thank you, bub. You look like you follow young children home. God touch you. Yes, he did. I'm looking to upgrade from my OG Hellcat for CCW. Any recommendations? Yes. MC9 LS or Prime. Can one use a machine gun to kill mosquitoes? Yes. It's expensive. I have a 40. Blew up my left femoral artery. I don't think I can join the military either. Yeah, probably not. You're non-reactive to opioids. Yes, correct. Oxy, hydrocodone, morphine, Fucking fentanyl. None of that does anything to me. You'd probably be non-responsive to heroin too. Yeah, there's... So, have any of you ever been hospitalized and you had Dilaudid? Dilaudid will knock you the fuck out. Dilaudid is like holding my breath. It'll make me feel good for about the span of 4 minutes. Are those 2 sloth plushies for silencing BB bullets? You do not shoot the sloth, man. They were gifts. You've got the LS and you second my opinion. Thank you. Is the Hellcat snappy as people say? What about the comp version? The comp version is better, but yeah, the Hellcat is a little bit snappy. MC9 Prime over the HK-CC9? If only because of the price difference, yes. Can you get a Ruger Mark V and 9mm? No. Yes, that hospital drug Dilaudid is crazy. It feels cold going in the IV. But yeah, like I said, so when I get hospitalized, it's in my notes. I don't take pain meds. I don't take Percocet. I don't take anything. Excedrin, because of the acetaminophen plus the caffeine, helps knock down my headaches a little bit, but I always have one. I always have a headache. But yeah, so they'll give me Dilaudid when I first get there to try to at least bring the pain level down. Number one, if you ever go to a hospital and tell them your pain level is a 10, the first place they think is that you're drug seeking. Nobody is a 10 and conscious. Unless you snap your femur. I have, I claim 8 maybe on my worst days, but I typically live at a 7, if that makes sense to anybody. Nice room. Thanks, Monty. Are those real weapons? They're real guns. Is your name Jimmy or Jiminy? My name is actually Joe. Jiminy was just a screen name that I liked. You did it with the Smith & Wesson M&P 40. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I'm glad you're okay, though. That's the important thing. Being okay is much more important than being in the military. Does that make sense? How many of you have liked the videos and stuff tonight, man? Come on. Hook me up, kids. Sorry, my chat just froze. Give me a second. There we go. No, it didn't freeze. People just stopped talking. Look, kids, I need all of you to start typing. You've seen me. I can go fast. I can read your things. Hello, Matthew. You have the kitty. Yeah, so you gotta like the video, okay? I'm gonna be one of those guys whose voice doesn't match the person. Yeah. I like guns. Yeah. Nice. Was making sure. I recently picked up an IMEI Desert Baby Eagle. God. How much are Glock 17s? I don't know where you are, Goku. Prices fluctuate based on the store, the owner, whether or not they're assholes. They're mapped anywhere from $500 to $639, depending on which version you're trying to buy. Would you ever consider becoming an assassin again? Kind of a subcompact. Yeah. The Smith & Wesson M&P Shield gets more hatred than it deserves. It's actually a pretty good concealed carry gun. I think the Shield is an awesome gun. I'm living with migraines. How many Excedrin do you take at a time? Does caffeine component make you jittery like it does me? So migraines are different from a cluster headache, and I'm sorry that you suffer from the migraines. I take 3 grams at a time. So I take 3,000 milligrams each dose, and I take anywhere between 4 and 6 times a day. So I take anywhere from 12 to 18 grams a day of Excedrin. I'm a jerk who says Last Action Hero is one of Arnold's best. I'm right there with you, Roy. Because the movie doesn't take itself serious. That's what I like. The sloth is cool. Thank you. Sorry I'm late. Family game night. That's all right, Luke. Am I Costa Rican? No, I'm white and Korean. You ever heard of a Ruger P95 DC? Yes, I have. I used to have a couple of them. Are you prepping? Oh, look at you coming in trying to be all smart with the way you're talking. Dude, how's your kidneys functioning? I get my kidneys tested now every couple of months because I've had kidney failure twice due to heat stroke and other concerns. But my kidneys are fine because my body has developed tolerances, kind of like the way an alcoholic does. It never gives me a problem. My kidney and liver function is perfect right now. But I have to be very careful in warmer weather. I can't do things like I used to because I'm very susceptible to kidney failure just from heat. I can't wait to see your review of the Rock Island STKs. I asked them to send them to me. They sent me the RA 5.0 first. You're white and Chinese. Nice. Kindergarten Cop was lit. Yeah, Kindergarten Cop, Last Action Hero, the one where he was in Minnesota. Fuck. Jingle All the Way. They were all some of my favorite ones. Best home defense 9mm. Whatever gun you have that says 9mm. I'm going to try to send you a Nerf gun. Awesome. If you're having any problems, then I suggest you skip on the rip. No, so I drink sugar-free drinks. So Gatorade sugar-free zero. Because my doctor told me to make sure that I'm staying up on my electrolytes. So my problem is I'm 45 years old. I act like I'm 12. So I'll go and work in 100-degree weather and rebuild an engine without stopping. And the last time I did that, I wound up in the hospital for 4 days because my kidney shut down. I went into full renal failure. They were able to reverse it. But yeah, so I have to just be careful now. True Lies was cool. You look 27. I get that. It's because of the Korean in me. So I can drink energy drinks. It's all about moderation. It's the same thing that a lot of people have a problem with. There are some people out there that can't do it. There's that one kid that had like 3 Red Bulls and died. There's a kid that was out in, Utah or something, took like 4 Excedrin and OD'd and died. I do not have a life card. Glocks work in a mysterious way. Yeah, they steal all your money and have you convinced that they're a real gun. It's like psychic. Oh, Miss Cleo, Miss Glock, tell your future. You're going to buy a Glock and you're going to give me your money. I don't know what accent that is, but you know what I mean. What handgun you regretted buying the most, if any? Most handgun I regretted buying ever is a Chiappa Beretta M922. It was a 22 long rifle, fixed barrel clone of a Beretta M9. I got 8 rounds out of it before it exploded. Never fired another round. Dude, that one was fucking awesome. I agree. That one's right up there. Actually, you know what? It's Last Action Hero, Twins. No, not Twins. So Last Action Hero, that one, and then Total Recall. No, if I want to sound Indian, it's going to sound like this. Opinion on old Bursa 380s. Bursas run when they're taken good care of. The minute you get them dirty, they like to jam up. Glocks are goated. Glocks are goat cock. SIG 226 Legion versus a Colt 1911 Gold Cup. I'll take the Legion, thank you. You have a pocket pistol. Yes. It's called a Para-Ordnance Black Ops 1911 5-inch. Recommendation on a 9mm silencer. So I would actually recommend that you don't get one dedicated for 9mm. I have the Osprey 9 and it's an excellent 9mm suppressor. But if you buy one that's dedicated for 9mm, you're going to be locked into 38,000 PSI. You can't run anything else through it. A 5.56, a 5.7, 22 Magnum can all damage it. So I would actually recommend getting a can that's pressure rated before you get one that's caliber specific. So that scene in Predator where they shoot the jungle down, not accurate. Not with that few guns. What pistols you prefer if not Glocks? 1911s, man. Any brand. You can look at my wall and basically tell what I prefer. What do you think of the intervention sniper rifle? Never got my hands on one. I've been asking SFR to let me borrow his, but he keeps on masticating. Glocks are hot semen. Yeah, that's true. Cody, what's up? Wow, somebody's showing how young they are. Bye, Logan. Only buy police trading Glock. The truth value $300. Yeah, if you can buy a Glock for $300, I will not say a single bad thing about them. A Glock for $300 is absolutely perfectly fine. Nyla Harper, she's not dead. She's still on the rookie. Is there a big difference in the accuracy for PO9 or Shadow 2? Yeah, the Shadow 2 is way more accurate, dude. PO9 is an accurate gun, but it's a polymer gun. Nice, I'm buying a 1911. Good. Can you further explain pressures on suppressors? I'm moving out of a bad state, and one of the first things I'm getting is a suppressor. All right, so the common misconception that a lot of people make is they say, "Oh, I've got a 308. I want a 308 suppressor." No, you don't. You want something that's rated for pressure. So you need to check the pressure rating of the largest caliber you're planning on shooting, and then get a suppressor that's rated for that, and one that can adapt to other ones. So the Sandman K is a 30 caliber can. They call it a 30 caliber can because the bullet diameter is up to 30 caliber, but you can run anything from a 22 to a 30 caliber through it. But the Osprey 9, which was designed specifically for a 9mm cartridge, 9mm cartridge, unless you're getting like super hot ammo, is 35 to 38,000 psi. When you exceed the pressure rating for a suppressor, you can physically damage the suppressor. I ran 5.56 through my 9mm can. It literally bulged it out. Is it true one can conceal the can from a Bass Pro Shop? No, it is not true unless they are teaching a concealed carry class. I haven't decided if I'm going to stream on Friday. I might not. If I do, it'll be a pop-up. How many Olight O-sights did they just ship to gun tubers? The videos were flying yesterday. Probably a lot. I reached out to HoloSun, so they're supposedly sending me the DPS thermal. Why did Glock become the most famous, well-known, most widely used gun? Because when they came out in the late 80s, it was a novel, innovative, interesting gun design that was better than the current crop of guns at the time. You had things like the Ruger P89, which was bulky in comparison. Ever since then, it's been marketing. It's the same reason why people think Apple is a good product. Apple is shit. All the components inside of an iPhone are made by Samsung and LG. All the fucking PC parts inside of a Mac Pro are literally Intel or AMD based. Apple has marketing. Glock has marketing. Same thing. Getting my pistol permit in New York was the biggest pain in the ass. I bet, dude. My wife softly touched me with her rifle barrel. I smiled. Nice. Your first gun was an MP5. It was a ton of maintenance. Yeah, but luckily MP5s aren't too hard to take apart. I've seen 40 Super 85 grain, 185 grains. That's going to be a cooking round. How the fuck do you have 211,000 subscribers with no content? That's interesting. Have a good night. Ryan, what's up? What country makes the best gun in your opinion? America. 40 Super, 180 grain, 1900 feet per second. No, thank you. My first handgun was a Ruger P85. I like them, but they're still bulky. This man eats, sleeps, and breathes guns. Not true. I breathe carbon dioxide. I'm plant-based. You have a DP12? No, I wish I did. Paid bot subscriptions. Oh, so he's somebody that decided to get that? Okay, cool. Well, he's gone anyways. How has nobody sold a gun phone yet? Because the firing of the gun would destroy the phone. What gun would you rather trade in for a sharp stick? I'll give you a hint. It starts with Glock and ends with Glock. You don't think Austria? No. Austria makes some good guns. What's your all-time favorite assault? Probably Rodney King, because, man, one dude getting beat up when he was... The worst part is he was a criminal and he was getting the shit kicked out of him. Yeah, probably the Rodney King assault. Thoughts on CAC? They make a mean-ass 5,000 foot per second round that's crazy. Yeah, the Life Card and Ideal Conceal both make guns that are chambered like that. But in terms of assault rifle, if you're really gonna, I don't like that term because assault is something you do as a military maneuver or as a person attacking somebody. But the AR-15 platform is probably the greatest in my opinion. The AK is great, but I would not use either in an AK. I would run a straight up 7.62, brother. Am I a fan of radical AR-15s? I'm fine with them. What's your thoughts on Walther Q5 match polymer frame? I used to have one. Bought it for $400. Sold it to Stonehaven. Do you ever not make it to the bathroom and just take a dump on your bedroom floor? Not since I was 36. Oh, yeah, the AR can never go wrong. Yep. Never to mess with the LMT. Springfield Hellion, question mark, question mark, question mark. What about it? It's not a Springfield. It's actually a Croatian HS product gun. The gun is fine, but we don't get a full auto version here. There's no reason to own a semi-automatic bullpup. Why are you flexing your guns? I'm not. Now I am. Oh, look how thick they are. They don't even go up because I'm not actually flexing them. What do I think about Derringer? They're okay. UVHS. Lol. No, actually, I like that. Take away the. No. I like UVHS. I am VHS! I go on Ruger's website and suggest they need to come back out with the P95 and an optics cut. That would be fun. No, actually, I have to go to the vet because these pythons are sick. I mean, look at that, dude. They're just so squishy. They don't do anything. Do you guys ever get fascinated by watching fat old ladies with their wiggly, that when this just, like when it's all cellulite and it's, this is going to get me canceled on YouTube, but when fat old ladies have that wiggly jiggly arm shit going on. 4570 Cyclops, can't hit nothing with it. What makes a lot of noise? Yeah, somebody watched Micah's video. Fast guns are accurate guns. Fast, accurate guns. Any gun can be fast and accurate if you're accurate and fast enough. Never mess with Academy ammo. What do I sell guns? Yes, Wind City Armory. Hey, Goose! Holy shit, man. Work's been keeping you down, bro. I actually almost messaged you and asked if you were going to come in and hang out. Good affordable compact 9. Yes, the G3C is a good affordable compact 9. And it's got double strike capability, so if your first round doesn't go off, just keep on pulling it. These pythons are sick. Yep. I want to buy an AR-15 as a home defense gun. I've been seeing that the Ruger 5.56 is a good option. Do you think that's a good gun, or is there better? No. AR-5.56 or Ruger 5.56 is excellent. Smith & Wesson M&P 3 is also a great choice. M&P or PSA for 5.7? Well, the M&P is hammer fired. The PSA is striker fired. So you got to decide which one you want. I like the features on the PSA. As long as you can make sure your gun runs, then you're going to be good. Glad you did that off cam. What did I do off cam? Pooped on my floor? Yeah, man. Sorry, dude. I know work has sucked, dude. Just stop. This is boring. How did you know what I was yelling at your mom last night when she was trying to get me off? What do you think of the new C10P10C ported? I mean, every gun is getting Compton ported nowadays. I like the P10, so I'm guaranteeing you I'll like it comped or ported. What's your favorite action movie? My favorite action movie of all time is Grosse Point Blank, starring John Cusack and Minnie Driver. Thoughts on the AK series? It's fine. No, I am not Indian. Please stop saying that. My name is Jiminy. Does that sound Indian? No. I am not named after a cow. I don't recommend shooting a 5.56 for home defense unless you live on a farm. As long as you use soft point, 5.56 is okay. I mean, it's going to over-penetrate, so be careful about that, but Shizezas are great. Yeah. Cool pieces. Thank you, David. No, I am not a Mexican Jewish. That is a weird capability. Oy vey, I need to take a siesta. The heat shot up. Seen that shit when I was 8. Ha! Best Glock clone. We know you hate Glocks. I'm going to go out on a limb right now based on the fact that you get an island comped barrel. The two guns that I would recommend in a Glock clone right now are the Ruger RXM and the Daria Arms DY9. Those are the two best ones so far. Your dad passed away today? Holy shit. You don't mean today, you just mean today's the date? Oh my god. I'm glad that you're hanging out, dude. Are there 5.56 rounds designed to not over-penetrate? Yeah, you want a heavier round going slower and soft point or hollow point. They might make frangibles. Minnie Driver was hot in that movie. Yeah, she was. Now I should get a Ruger 5.56 or the Beretta A300. A300. What advice would you give to guys trying to get monetized? Just plug away, dude. Consistency. This month I have my best viewership in a long time because I did 45 total videos. Shorts every day, 12 live streams, and 8 videos. Just boom. Collateral. Collateral was good. I just couldn't stand Tom Cruise's hair. He's like 800 years old now, and his hair's still black. You just picked up the Brat? Awesome. I'm waiting for them to send me mine. They're sending me the optics cut version, and I'm still waiting. Fill me in on what I've missed. So I've reduced the number of guns on the wall, Goose, because the only guns on the wall are 2025 acquisitions and guns that money has paid for through YouTube and sponsorships and stuff. Like the Arex, I keep thanking you even when you're not here. Your donations helped pay for that gun, so that's on the wall. So I'm rebuilding the wall just using guns that YouTube pays for. Most accurate gun scene in a movie you've ever seen. You ever see Cruel Intent or Cruel Intentions? I think it was. It was one. No, from Death Proof. That two-part movie, Death Proof, and the other one from Tarantino and his buddy, where the lady gives her kid a gun in the backseat of the car and the kid just domes himself immediately. Should we get RPG? We have RPG at homes. How do I feel about FRTs? They're fine. If you want one, get it. Not playing that game. Save it private. Sorry. Scorpion or Kuna? I haven't shot this Kuna yet, so I'll give you my opinion. Mossberg or Benelli M4 if you had to choose one shotgun. Money, no option? I'd go with an M4. Okay, I got a question. I want a 1911. Can't decide who makes a good one for the price. What price? Saying the price. I mean, there are good $500 ones and there's good $10,000 ones. What price? What price are you in, bud? What's with the BG 2.0 shooting left for so many people? The Bodyguard? It's trigger anticipation a lot of times. So the reason you have, the reason why, here's a great thing that Glock owners will tell you isn't real, but it's fucking real because you guys have a shot named after you. Glock shot. If you're right-handed, you shoot low left, you're anticipating your shot. Same thing with the Bodyguard. Everybody that shoots a Bodyguard 2.0 is anticipating a shitty shooting gun, so they're anticipating that shot. You're pushing forward because you think the gun's going to be snappy. The original John Wick was pretty good. What's a dumb gun you'd get for shits and giggles? Barrett M82A1. I do not have a Hellcat Pro. Yes, there's an AR behind me, Amanda. For about $800. Fusion Firearms 1911s, they sell them right about that. Bull Armory, they sell them under the Desert Eagle brand. If you don't get the one with the knife, you can get them for about $800. Springfield Garrison at about $800. Those are the three I would recommend. There are some Kimbers at about that range, but Kimber has been hit and miss the last 4 or 5 years, so the three I just named are good out of the box. The Kimber, if you know a little bit about guns, can be an excellent guns because the materials Kimbers are made out of are probably superior to most of the other ones out there. Heat was a good movie when they came out. The bank gun sounded real. Yeah, pretty good. Favorite gun content creator? That would be me. If you can't love yourself, you know, I still have to flinch no matter how much I train every dry firing. Even dry firing, I see my green dot move low left. A lot of people are like that. So I have bad nerve damage, so I'm a trigger slapper anyways. So, what's a good optic for my new Glock? If you go and buy another gun, you don't need an optic. Smith & Wesson CSX, is it a 1911? No. It has a hinged trigger. It is not a linear trigger. It also has a different lockup. What's a good gun for home defense? Shotgun. If you're going to gun the shot, you got the shotgun. It's only been 2 fucking hours. Where's my likes, kids? I am here to tell you need to hit the like button. Why do so many Glock owners? Why not support an American gun manufacturer that will help support your rights? I don't believe Glock does that. There is a Glock manufacturing facility. Glock does have U.S. manufacturing for some of their guns. You can see them on the slide. They'll either say Austria or USA. Glock wanted to become the U.S. manufacturer or the manufacturer of U.S. sidearms for the military. The only way you can do that is if the factory is located in the United States. That's the only reason the Taurus PT-92 even fucking exists. Beretta sold their factory to Taurus when they built the factory in the United States. Bull Armory, B-U-L Armory. Yep. Best gun, home defense is the one you have and the one you don't have. Do you play video games? A couple. I built me a gaming computer. It does the frames. It can do like 12 frames a year in Cyberpunk. So yeah, I game. Now, can you get the stand back where it was? There we go. KS7 and KS12s are fine, but they're not my favorite. Didn't know that about Blix. Yep, yeah. Just look up Glock USA. They kept their manufacturing here. The 19X is the predominantly one that has a U.S. manufacturing. Liver King or Joe Rogan? Oh, Joe Rogan, unless Liver King gets his hands on him while steroided the fuck out. If he's full on steroids and gets his hands on Rogan, then there's going to be an issue. It's like fighting a drunk dude. If you're quick and sober, you're fine until he gets his hand on you. What bolt action rifle is that in the top? There is no bolt action rifle. That is a semi-automatic. Well, technically it's bolt, but it's not like a manual bolt. That is a Springfield M1A. Ew, Cybercrunk. I don't play Cyberpunk. I was just making a joke. CMMG Mutant. Yeah, they're fun. We're battling out the Revolutionary War. I don't like period stuff. Sorry, Bryson. Joe on everything, too. Yeah, I do everything, dude. Dude, I just bought a XPS 630 quad 2 core processor in the box from an auction, bro. What about Tiger King? Yeah, no, we're not talking about that one. If you had $500,000, what gun would you get? I would get a bunch more $500,000 together and buy an F4 Phantom. If they want to, if they're gonna spam like that, just get rid of them, Grayson. I'm fine with that. Thoughts on DDM4 V7? It's a little overpriced for the civilian market, but it's a good gun. What do you think about Canik? I like Canik. There's one behind me. Brother, every single gun on the wall is considered an AW in Rhode Island now. They go in the Cali route. Yeah, they're going worse in Cali, dude. They're going Illinois route. You can still get AR-15s in Cali. You can't get them in Illinois. Ever seen the movie The Patriot? Nope. I don't like period movies. Do you have a flamethrower? Nope. Where was I in the military? Nope. How's the Apollo? Nope. It's not an Apollo. It's the Fusion Firearms XP Pro. Noveski overpriced? Yes. They're banking on their name. I thought California was bad. Nope. I'm not that unfortunate. Yep. Illinois, they banned AR-15s. They grandfathered in the old ones, but you can't buy new ones there. They were trying to do that here in Virginia. That's actually where my build started from. I bought a Virginia AR lower from PSA. It had 6 Emperor Tyrannus on the body, and then I put a binary trigger in it. So we have until July 2026. Yep. Ever gotten 1,000+ watchers on your stream? No, because I don't push my stream like that. I think the most I ever got was like 400. You can't get ARs. Dude, you can send them to me and just shoot them when you come here. Thoughts on the Ruger RXM? It's a good option. Absolutely. I highly recommend one. Ever had a potato gun? No, I have not. Nova? Winchester. Have you ever fired your gun up in the air and gone, ah? No. What manufacturer is the gray 1911 in the bottom? That is the TSOS Night Stalker, but it's customized. It has a Fusion Firearms trigger in it that I modified to work and a stipple grip from my buddy Greg. If you got one gun that is not allowed for you, what would you choose? Probably going to have to go with a MP7. Patriot's a great movie. Says the guy named Patriot, but yeah, I heard it's a good movie. You really like playing Duck Hunt as a kid? Yeah, because I was a cheating-ass mother-father, dude. If you grab the second controller, you can control the bird. I used to just make them stick on the side of the screen. Lower on that 1911 reminds me of my SV Infinity. Yeah, so I had it custom stippled by my buddy Greg. It might be a very similar stippling. Hey, man, just wanted to let you know that your channel always gets pushed as I always come across it, even though I'm not subscribed. Just subscribe, but I thought you'd be interested in metrics. Thank you, Save It Private. So, yeah, 72% of my viewership is not subscribed, so they are at least pushing me now. There was a point where it was like 40% not subscribed, so it was crazy. So, Freedom Series Bantam. Are you talking about the TSOS Freedom Bantam? Thoughts on suppressors getting kicked off? Big beautiful bill and the new $0 tax. We'll see if it sticks, man. I'm waiting for it to finally go into full swing. If it's not full swing, then it's Vegemite, I'm not sure. I heard it tastes really tart. Why am I just learning about that second controller trick? Because most people don't realize it. DDM, overpriced or just hype? It's overpriced. The hype is fine. It's good. Is Kimber stagnant or getting better? It's better, man. And they released to all the distributors, much more manufacturing, and they lowered the price in general. So they're much better. I'm new. I've seen your stuff before. If you don't mind me asking, give me a rundown of yourself and your channel. So I'm just a dude that in 2017, I decided I wanted to start playing with guns, started a gun channel, and made some silly shit in 2022 that really made the channel take off. The only reason I have the check mark is because I did a short making fun of Glock owners, and I'm riding that shit to the bank for the rest of my life. When I was younger, but I'm also into cars, tech, video games, comic books, all that stuff. When I was younger, me and a friend would shoot arrows straight up and follow them to see who got the closest to them when they landed. How am I still alive? We had lawn darts. We did the same. I wish they would push me. Yeah, just keep plugging away, dude. Canucks coming to California roster. I saw that, but you're going to have a shit trigger. Do you have a double barrel shotgun? Nope, sorry. Your rifle is falling. Oh, no! No, it's not. It's fine. I remember Kimber being called Rich Flood 1911s. They were in the 90s, late 90s, until they started becoming crap. Just love watching these videos. Keep it up. Thank you, Du Bois. California and Maryland are the only two states that have restrictions on flamethrowers. I live in one of the worst political states. Yeah, that sucks. What's up from North Carolina? Not much, Jared. What's going on with you? I've had pistols before. I've always been pushed on to get me a Glock. What would you recommend? I would not recommend a Glock. If you're an enthusiast, don't get a Glock unless you want to bitch about Glock, and then you're required to own a Glock. I own 3 right now. I used to own 7. But yeah, if you want a good gun, get something in a Canic, Walther PDP, Smith & Wesson M&P Metal Series. Looking really smashable. Problem is, I'm the jetpack, son. What would Wyclef Jean be without Lauryn Hill? He'd still be doing his thing. He was a producer, too. You can bring out a state Canics to California. Okay. Order a 3-pack of PSA lowers for $118. Nice. Is a PSA dagger a good recommend? So they can be reliable if you go through them and make sure they're not fucky. Is the Canic Prime any good? I haven't put my hands on one. I've shot the LS. That shoots really nice, so I can only assume the Prime's probably pretty good. What do you think about Taurus? Well, they discontinued the line. Ford, dropped all their cars, but it was pretty good. You have a good amount of guns, but you don't know where to get a wall rack. What do you recommend? So these are pegboard from Home Depot or Lowe's, and I use plastic pegboard hooks from Amazon. Shadow Systems, too expensive. Even the Foundation series from Shadow Systems makes them the same price as a Glock. And they're all still too cheap, or too expensive. Are FRTs legal in Virginia? Yes. What is the blue and white gun in the back? That is a 3D printed sign. Did you see Colorado gun stores are now required to have a state firearms dealer permit? Nope. I wouldn't doubt it, though. That's stupid. Yeah, bro, Shadow Systems are OD expensive. Yeah, the first time I put my hands on a John Lovell War Poet Society Shadow Systems, I nearly burped myself stupid. Love the pegging. Do we have an underground shelter? Nope. There are better clock replicas in the Shadows. Not for the money, they aren't. No, the slots are fine. I use Flow Wall for gun rack. That's a good choice, too. Do you watch Dora the UN from... Oh, what the fuck? No, I don't even know what that is. For real, the sloth is falling. Okay, when it falls, it falls. It's fine. Where's the Glocks? They're not up there because they're not 2025 purchases. When's the SIG going to the double stack 298? No idea. Goose, I'm kind of leaving most things unless it's like a super spam. Just letting you know, brother. The camera adjusts when he moves. The camera is also on a tripod that is on the other side of my desk, and the other side of my desk is open. So if I hit the chair that it's sitting next to or the pillow that I put my stumps on, it can move it. You picked up an MR920 for $6. It's a great way to spend $600 on a $300 gun. I love your non-Glock builds, though. Look sick. Thank you. Favorite revolver, Ruger GP100. I at least failed 4 failures with my dagger. I wouldn't trust it from EDC, but I know a lot of people do. Yeah, well, a lot of people will buy a dagger, put it in their holster, and never even shoot it in EDC, the son of a bitch. What's your AR? That one's a Diamondback, but my personal one is a custom build. The sloth, they're fine. They're not going anywhere. And there's an imitation Chiappa there. If I get too close, it's going to get me banned. My dad is a flamethrower. My dad is a flamethrower. I'll put my stump on your pillow. No, thank you. I don't like eunuchs. I don't know who Combat Armory is. I would go through Brownells if you're just buying standard stuff. You seen the gun bed where you lean back and the rifle comes out? No, I have not. PX4 Storm has always been reliable. A few thousand rounds with no major issues. I have the PX4 in 45. I just remembered I own it. Best deal for dagger is getting one for $225 on sale and then getting the OEM internal for $80. There's never been a better time to be alive, but it gets better. Every minute that you're alive is the best minute you've ever been alive ever, while being alive is being better than live. Jim save the sloth. Sounds like a one of those wish-a-thons. I wish EOTech had Shake to Wake. EOTech is overpriced trash. Rebuild the wall. You look Mexicano hermano, my cousin. No, I'm trying to replace all the guns I took down off the wall. I don't know what the fuck a Zafiri build is, Cade. Stop asking. Food helps, especially if it's tasty. What is this, a Fallout 4 loading screen? Food helps when you're not hungry. It's got a Gen 3 Glock on Combat Armory. Great. Good for you. Why don't you ever hold those guns? Because on a live stream, if I pick up a gun, the algorithm and the AI that monitors the videos will instantly shut down the live and I'll get a strike. What are your thoughts on getting Canik TT9? I would get the Rival S before the TTI. The TTI is nothing but a name grab for Terran Tactical. He didn't actually do anything. Would recommend building the Combat Armory Gen 3 19 over a dagger. Okay. How long have you worked for Combat Armory? You don't got a SP5 though? No, because I'm going to eventually get a full auto one. I have a gun store and I'm working on my Class 3 license right now. You guys are all critics of what you talk about, but you can't be criticized or it's instant block. That's the ultimate hypocrite. YouTube is against the Constitution. YouTube is not against the Constitution. It's not also a free speech entity. It's a entity that is privately owned and they can do whatever the fuck they want. And I get rid of people that are just trying to instigate for the sake of trying to, for some reason, think they're being funky on a live with 93 people. Jesus, are they that strict? Yes, somebody killed themselves on a live stream, so it ruined it for everybody else. What's the black and gold gun with the ported slide? That is a Daria Arms DY9. Are we gun snobbing? No, dude. I love cheap-ass guns. I love expensive guns. I just don't like Glock. Glock is trash. Have you had to work on any SIG 320s? Define work on. I own a couple 320s. I've put in custom triggers. I have not shot Dragon's Breath. I smashed my Vortex Red Dot on my VR80 because I threw it at Mach Frick into a barrel. Nice. The rifle above me is a DB15. If you're talking about that one, it's an M1A. What is your purpose? My purpose is to be... there are better guns for a lower price that look just like Glock. Yep. I 3D print my own guns. Okay. You can keep it. Is that a Tiffany Blue Chiappa? No, it's a 3D print of a Chiappa. If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around to hear it, it doesn't make a sound. That is inaccurate because there's always something somewhere that can hear it. All right, Reviewal. Yeah, please, this is not an advertisement for Combat Armory. If you keep on talking about that, like, if you're just trying to shill their shit, you're going to go away. This is my platform, not yours. Are you going to ask somebody what's their purpose? What's your purpose? You're on this live. Yeah, well, I'm going to keep it. Not going to give it away. You shouldn't, Jake. Why are Glocks trash? Is it because other guns have caught up to it in reliability? So trash is probably too much of a rude statement. Glocks are boring-ass guns that are double the price they should be. Yes, vape all you want. You like when I see you slide through streams such as Pistol Pete and Chanson. Yeah, Chanson started doing his thing because of me, so that's kind of fun. Would you recommend MP 2.0 or something different? MP 2.0 is a great one. Just helping people, don't be a Karen. I'm not being a Karen, but literally everything you've said is a sales tactic for another company. I don't care. Try the Wilson Combat grips for the 320 model? No. All right, you're gone, Rebel. You're just one of those people. Got it. Bye. Have a good night. And the fact that I used to love Glocks, it showed me so much. Yeah, that MP5K is the auto. What is the auto? As a civilian, unless you pay 70 grand, you're not getting a full auto MP5. I'm not grouchy. I just don't like when stupid fucks come into my live and act like stupid fucks and then ask me why I'm angry when stupid fucks act like stupid fucks. Only people just started using guns say Glock is the best gun. Pretty much. There are no Glocks on this wall, TG. I'm not good at handling conversations, buddy. I'm out. You're fucking retarded and I fucked your mom. See ya. Glock is a fine gun. It just sucks to use. Yep, pretty much. Sig Sauer. Sig Sauer's got a lot of good guns. You enjoy violence? No, but I like violins. Thoughts on force reset triggered? I mean, is it automatic? No. The reason why they tried to make FRTs illegal is because too many people figured out how to modify them into automatic receiver or automatic triggers. But the reason they won their argument is because if the part is installed the way it's intended and built, then it is fine. It does not malfunction. It does not run in a weird way. So, what's up with the 320? There's not really anything. CZP 09 and 07 series is the best polymer handgun I've used. I guess. Glock guns are so damn boring, you gotta spend more money. Yep, pretty much. I feel like Glock would become better if they honestly gave us better triggers out of the box. That's really my only gripe. My gripe is the price, man. They're too freaking expensive. What's up, my brother from Phoenix here? I have a 1911. Love it on advice how to make it less noisy. Not really. They do what they do, man. King of Say says $2 for blessings. Thank you, King. Appreciate it. The 97 BD is pretty hot. I would love to get my hands on one, man. You think HKs are worth it? You gotta really want the HK. But the good news is, if you go to smaller gun stores, you can usually find them cheaper. It's my belief the Ruger P89 should have gotten a military contract. They're very rugged. They are, but they were kind of outdated when they tried to go and submit for the XM trials. Would I recommend a Stoeger P3000 tactical for home defense? I don't even know what that is, so nope. The Glock just needs better sights out of the box. The Glock needs to not be $600. How good would you say a 1911 45 caliber is? Excellent. The L982, yeah, I've seen a lot of videos on it, and I've held one. I just have not really messed with them too much. Let's band together against Glock and popularize this guy. Jesus Christ, Nick. A Glock mag with a gun built like a 1911 pistol that has a long-range sniper scope and suppressor with one of those stocks that attaches the pistol like Lee Van Cleef used in a grenade launcher. I am in. Well, see, I mean, I get what you're talking about, Crow, but it doesn't function as an automatic. It literally forces your finger out. So technically, by action, you're only getting one action per trigger pull. But I get where you're coming from. And it's technically not regulated. It's how you buy it that's regulated. Yeah, I understand that they are expensive in Jamaica. There's a lot of places that are very expensive. You own a World War II GI 1911? Just enjoy the rattle, dude. Yeah, TH-45 will definitely work. My favorite first-person video game would probably be Fallout 4. I'm a first-gen Hellcat, nice. Glock is superior. Okay. Blunderbuss glitter out of a 37 smoke tube. I've got the 37 millimeter tube. Glock is superior to getting your junk kicked hard. Does that count? I once got kicked in the nuts really hard, and it hurt. Yep. Sorry, I'm checking my email right now. I have no desire to 3D print. What's your next buy? Nothing right now. I have no intentions of buying anything. I'm working on my store right now. I own a gun store. It's called Win City Armory. Glock should really be like $200 to $300 less. Absolutely, Nick. They've been building them for 40 years. They own the tooling. It's not hard to develop the same gun over and over. I have never shot a black powder revolver. Your next purchase is a 4956. Got it. How to apply for a gun license? You need to go to Google and try that one. Friends, don't let friends carry Glocks. 365, too small in my opinion for me, but it's a good gun. It shoots well. Early guns had firing pin issues, but all the modern ones are fine. Longest lasting consistent pistol on the market, 1911. Trial weather gun grease, that might help it quiet it down. Glock comes out of the box working, expecting to continue with nothing fancy, has huge aftermarket support, really about it. So, if you guys want to see me do something that a Glock can't do, go to my shorts page and look at me where in the video that says this is why ports are a good thing. I mag dump that Fusion Firearms XF Pro while limp wristing it without looking, and it never stovepipes. Limp wrist a Glock 19 once and see what the frick happens. Is the Point Man worth $1,700? It's got to be worth it to you. In terms of the quality of the guns, I'd say yeah, but it's got to be worth it to you as a buyer. I wouldn't spend $1,700 on one, but it's worth it. Would you recommend a musket for home defense? Not really. I mean, if you have no choice. Followed by a Tokarev. Nice. Not praising it. It's just what it is. I get you. What are you talking about? Only 1/3 of 1911s work properly out of the box. I love how strongly that you're quoting that, Quattro, but I'd love to see your statistics, kiddo. Oh, we're not getting into this. None of you are going to win. Opinion on Mosin Nagants. I have one in my store. They're fine. They're not my favorite. Favorite entry-level recommendation for 1911. Bull is definitely one of them. Fusion Firearms makes a lot of good single-stack 1911s for under $1,000. The Springfield Operator and Springfield Garrison are both around $1,000. They're very solid. And the Gerson Match Elite and the TSAS, their upper ranges are really solid. Other YouTube videos don't count as statistics. got a Springfield GI model, cheap and good. Yeah, they're fine. I'm just not a fan of that front sight on the GI models. I like to have something removable just in case I want to change it. You got a Kimber lightweight 45. It runs perfect. Mine does too. You got a 1940 Tula. Nice. I have a Glock 19. It jammed. I think they did something to make it jammed, or they suck by nature. No, there's many reasons why a Glock can jam. Good 10 millimeter. As much as I hate to admit it, a Glock 20 or a Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 or the X10 from SIG. What music do you listen to? Everything. Are XDSs okay to carry? Yeah, why not? They have grip safeties and trigger safeties. They're fine. Forward, what's up, dude? You know of a gun with a recoil system? All guns have recoil systems of some sort. If you're talking about something with a moving slide. What are your thoughts on the lightweight 1911s, pros and cons? The thing you got to watch out for with the lightweight 1911 when they have an aluminum frame is that there is a potential for the slide rails to kink. That's why Kimber started cutting them and Colt did, where the slide lock, slide release goes through on the lightweight guns. The aluminum guns, they actually cut the frame rail. Right there, there's a little squared out section that can prevent it from jamming if it does flex. Best in the world till 1960, it's outdated. Yeah, that's why there's more manufacturers of 1911 than there are of any other gun in the world. Yeah, you're so right. Oh, you're so smart, Bell. That's so great. Yeah. I can tell by the fact that you have a lowercase avatar name that you're obviously a well-learned scholar who absolutely knows exactly what he's talking about. Do you prefer pump shotguns or semi-auto? Personally, semi-auto, but pump is very good. You carry a samurai sword? I thought you weren't allowed to carry swords. 1911 with or without grip safety. Any reason to not have one? I mean, if you properly hold a 1911, the grip safety is a non-issue. Some people like to pin it for speed reasons, and it still has the external manual safety, so it's fine. You own any machine guns? I'm not a Fed trust. Not currently. You need more safeties on a gun. You need more gun safety. Pretty much, this is your safety. What do you think about Glock discontinuing the long barrel like 34? They're not discontinuing it. They just discontinued compliance models. Purchase an AF Alpha Foxtrot S15. Thinking about carrying it. Your thoughts on the gun? Interesting gun. I haven't shot one yet, Joshua, but I've seen good reviews on it. Thought I'd only own one. It's 1911, something we said for a reliable classic. Pretty much. How do I feel about Taurus 1911s? The finish, it's actually somehow cheaper than Rock Island's finish. The guns shoot okay, but you got to be very careful. Taurus builds a lot of Massachusetts compliance 1911s, but they don't put it on the slide MA, so they have 10.5-pound triggers. No, Teresa, you can't pick up guns on lives. CZ, proud. I've never had an M240, so I'm going to say no. What's your winner EDC? It's always a 1911. Before 1975, the high power was really the only Wonder 9 until 75, when the 75 came out, but double stack 9s weren't mainstream. Yeah, basically, Schwerwer, yeah, that's why the Glock took off so well. That's why Glock became the Wonder 9. You in a full auto state? Well, I mean, full autos are NFA controlled, but yeah. Hear me, a gun that shoots a margarita shot. That's a Nerf. Pistol with the red grips is a Fusion Firearms XF Pro. 200 series revolver. If you want a cheap 38, it's a good way to go. Have you ever used one? And if so, like maybe a video clip. I believe I have videos on my channel in the shorts. Is that a Bruno over there? No, that is actually the Rock Island 5.0. Thoughts on properly built P80 builds? I personally have never seen one because the chuckleheads that bring me them are always knuckle fucks who need us to fix them, and I refuse to touch one. Why make a DASA with a cheap crap trigger? It's not that hard, actually. High power is amazing, but Glock only took off because CZ was hidden behind the Iron Curtain. Otherwise, Glock would just sell horse semen. They should just go back to selling horse semen. Why bring 7 rounds to a potential gunfight when the micro these days carries 13? Because the average self-defense shooting is still 3 to 5 rounds. 13. What you're doing is watching people on the internet and listening to people that have a biased opinion that goes too far one direction or the other tell you that you need more rounds. I carry a total of 17 rounds. If I can't get myself out of a self-defense situation with 17 rounds, I'm fucked. And I shouldn't be in that situation. Patriot, you have a good night, man. Have I ever tried out Bursa's 1911? No, they want too much for them. Fuck that. The Sloth is holding a 3D printed copy of a Chiappa Rhino. Drunk Mouse made it for me because he knows I hate the Chiappa Rhino. I fired an MP40 and a Sten gun. They have a slow rate of fire. They do. The Sten and the MP40, if you watch a lot of movies where you hear the tat 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 tat, that's a real that is what they're supposed to be like. Literally 50% of everything you're saying is completely incorrect. Quite embarrassing. Bro, everything you're saying is incorrect, and you should probably get off the internet because you just said literally 50% of everything without knowing anything. So I'm going to help you go away and find somebody better. I'm sorry you're lonely. Tell your mom she owes me another blowjob because the last one I couldn't even finish speaking about you with my dick in her mouth. What do you think of the Springfield Armory Kuna? I'm waiting to get one. People always imagine themselves in a John Wick style scenario. If you need more than 6 rounds, you're probably fricked. Yep. I agree with you, Emeritus. So my 11.5 build, I'm running the Dead Air Wolfman 9mm and my MP5. Would you recommend the Huxworks Flow since the 11.5 is kind of gassy? I don't have any experience with either of those cans. Go with what you like, man. If it's throwing too much shit back in your face, then yeah. I mean, you're carrying 3 mags or more in your person all the time. I get just many rounds with. Hey, 13, let's do some math. Modern 1911s hold 8 plus 1. That's 9 rounds. Modern 1911 mags hold 8 rounds. That means I'm carrying the mag, 1 extra mag in the gun. Just because you're carrying a 17-round mag doesn't mean shit, dude. It's called gun control. Doesn't matter if you have 300 rounds if you can't hit shit because you're fucking firing blindly because you're a fucking pussy who watches the internet and thinks he's going to handle himself in a self-defense situation by shooting his gun sideways. I'll take trigger control and accuracy over ammunition any fucking day. Dude, Beretta is so nice. I just disassembled it, oiled it, and reassembled. Awesome, dude. Happy Independence Day. I'm not sure if I'm going to, man. Dude, actually, it's a double entendre, Ripa. They're there to make up for my large penis. It's why they're all full size. Because I dress to the left and I carry on the right, they keep me balanced. 13 is obviously a youngin because every 1911 currently sold now with a modern magazine is 8 rounds, dipshit. Look that up. You're now going away. Since you obviously don't know anything about a fucking 1911, you don't need to be on this fucking channel. Tell your mom I'm coming over later to fuck her in the ass. Do I enjoy SIG? Yes. My hillbilly neighborhood will sound like World War II. Yeah, pretty much they always do, don't they? Everyone make sure to hit the like. Why are you still here? Oh, yeah, it's because I already hit him. What's your take on 30 Super Carry? It's a dead round. Bro has good comebacks. People are stupid. That's the problem. Not much, stink bug. Come on in and hang out and be a decent fella and you're fine. But to quote my great-great-great-great-grandmother and Abraham Lincoln, fuck around and find out. Why do people shoot 1911 slightly tilted to the side when shooting one-handed? Not 100% sure, but those of us that shoot a lot with one hand will know, you'll feel like the way it recoils, it doesn't come straight back. You'll actually feel the gun kind of, so. Am I trans? No, I'm a cross-dresser. 30 Super was dead as soon as it came out. It was dead as soon as they announced it. And the worst part about that stink bug, so Smith & Wesson and Nighthawk Customs were the only 2 companies to make guns. So you either got a Smith & Wesson Shield in a caliber that got you one extra round over a 9mm or a $4,000 gun. You resemble a sloth. I resemble that remark. Thoughts on the hammer-fire Glock? I love them. It's amazing while alive in America, or is that 30 long? Technically, 30 long and 30 super carry are basically the same damn thing. And they still manufacture the 30 super carry, and they still have the gun. They're just not on the market much because nobody wants to take a chance on them. I have a Rock Island Armory 14 and double stack. Nice, dude. I have a Ruger LCR 327. It's a mini powerhouse. 327 I need to shoot. I've been asked to get them before. Drinking haterade and grandmas didn't ever say that way back. That's just because of phrase in the last 5 years. Oh my God, are you one of those people that fucking take shit literally? I don't want you here, brother. Sorry. If you don't have a sense of humor, you shouldn't be here because you're just going to sit there and wonder why I'm being a dick to you. It's because the entire world is going to be a dick to you because you don't understand humor. Can we 3D print a usable scope? Not until we get 3D printers that can print glass. BCM or Geisley? I prefer Bravo Company, but Geisley is very solid. Got one-handed, does something kind of weird with the wrist. I had the worst experience of that with the Beretta. Yeah, so if you watch the shorts video, let me bring it up and see if I can play it without me getting fucking canceled. And then it's 10:30, so I'm probably going to end after we look at it, so... All right, so here's my channel. You sons of bitches should be all subscribed. Look at that, 183. But, so here's me mag dumping. One-handed, without looking. One-handed. Do that with a Glock and see how well that fucking thing runs when you're done with it. It will stovepipe after the first shot. And that's as close as I can come to shooting a gun unalive. Honestly, dude, you're cool for a fun, maybe you are, but your channel, so much of you, us are just pricks. Cheers, which maybe you are, but have been totally reasonable. No, I'm as reasonable as the audience comes up with. So when they come in and they want to try to be stupid, idiot, dumbasses, they get treated like that. The problem with the internet is everybody's fucking woke and they won't say words like rape and suicide. So when somebody comes into a live stream and they're being a dipshit, and the mods just remove them without letting anybody acknowledge what they are or who they are or what they deserve in life, I'm not that guy. If you're an absolutely idiot, motard, I'm going to tell you. Would you buy range ammo? Do worry about how to clean it burns, or am I worried about a superficial problem? It's superficial, dude. Can you call me after stream? Sure. AK with ACOG or iron sights? I'd probably go with the iron sights personally. Rarest gun I have? Probably my 1939 Winchester 1894. I do not understand why people hate on Glock. I understand the price point, but at the same time, I've had zero issues. Sig, on the other hand, and Smith, I can't say the same. Okay. Why are you hating on Sig and Smith & Wesson? ACOGs don't go with AKs, but you can do it. You can do anything you want with the right side mount. What's your carry ammo? It's between Hornady Critical Duty, Critical Defense. Right now in my DWX, when I'm carrying that, I'm actually running Hornady American Gunner. Have I ever shot the 22 TCM from Rock Island? In fact, the very first gun I had, Chris, was actually the Rock Island 1911 9mm 22 TCM double stack. Do I frick with the gun sight scout? No, I do not. What's a gun you wish you had? The SIG 226X Classic. You know nothing about my favorite gun brand, basically what some of them said. Pretty much. I've had a SIG crack the frame and several Smiths jammed right out of the box and failed at feed. Glock, though, never had an issue with them. You're one person with the sample size of the guns you've owned. There would be no warranties on a gun from Glock if they were as good as you're trying to claim they are. I'm happy that you've had great experience with your Glocks. I've had Glocks fail. So if we're playing the I'm one person with the sample size of one person, I've had more problems with my Glocks than I have with my fucking Gerson Match X or my Beretta 92s, or my 1903 pocket hammerless. You know, if we're going to go by that metric, my Colt 25 Junior is more reliable than a Glock. So what you're doing, and I get what you're talking about, and I'm not going to say that your opinion is invalid, but what you're doing is literally just using your experience to generalize an entire setup. When I say that Glock is overpriced and they function because they have terrible tolerances, literally every word of both of those sentences is true. It's not an experience-based one. It's an actual factual-based statement. Never seen firing so nonchalant except for movies. Yeah. What's the gun from the cover picture? Paul, that is a Mosin Nagant 1942 Russian that's in my store. My SIG-3 65 shot the same batch of ammo and ran like a top. Interesting. My High Point is the best gun in the world. There you go. Hi from Turkey. What's up? Terrible tolerances can be a good thing. Oh, yeah, it means it'll run anything you shove through it, but it also makes it not a good gun. It makes it a reliable gun. Reliable and good are two separate things. Why do you think everybody makes fun of AKs for not being able to shoot out past 100 yards? Because they have terrible tolerances. I got shift in about 25 minutes, so I'll stay tuned as long as I can. I'm leaving at 11 too, so just gotten into guns, bought a Taurus G3. I love my dad's 38 police special. Nice. Bro does statistics. You know. How's the Fusion Firearms Glock clone? Dude, I love that thing. Did you watch the short I did? The concussive wave, now I will be honest, it's my first ported barrel. I've had comped guns. I've never had a short ported barrel. That's a 4-inch barrel with half the barrel is ported. So the blast coming back at your face is like if you're shooting an AR pistol. It's great. My M&P Shield right now is a good gun. Great. Glad to hear it. And again, when I say I'm not trying to invalidate your opinion, I actually am, because I'm trying to run with facts. But, dude, we all have bad experiences with the company. I'm sure there are good Chiappas out there. There aren't. But I'm sure there aren't. But they can do what they want. And I just refuse to own them. I have my eyes on the Springfield XD Mod 3. From what I understand, the Mod 3s are fine. Not being able to shoot an AK... it's a joke. It's a common joke. If you look it up on Google, everybody makes fun of the accuracy of an AK. I'm not in any way saying that across them all. I said it's a joke. Please listen to everything I say, because some of you are really smart. Like, a lot of you have had good statements, but please listen to everything I say before you go off and defend something or say something else. The joke is that AKs are not accurate past like 100, 150 yards. It's a joke because of their loose tolerances. What do I think about optics cut 1911s? I like them. I've got 1, 2, 3 right there. And I've got like 5 others. Stinkbug says I'm out. All right, dude. Any luck with Gerson? In what respect? Did I buy a good gun in Taurus? I do believe a gun has never killed anyone. Thank you for believing that, and Taurus is fine. 95% of the guns on the market today, 95% of the guns on the market are absolutely fine. They are decent guns that can be used for both self-defense, home defense, personal defense, whatever. The internet, YouTube, people that watch guys like Garantham, Honest Outlaw, PewView, me, I'm not one of them, but you watch all these dudes that are competitive shooters, that shoot tens of thousands of rounds a year, tell you a gun is not reliable to them. That's not the same use case as a civilian buying a gun. How many of you go out and put 10,000 rounds a year through your guns? I am doing 1,000 rounds a month now. And that's with every gun that I shoot. I'm not doing 1,000 rounds per gun per month. I'm doing 1,000 rounds a month. That's about where I am right now. Imperial, I've never even held a gun sight scout. I just enjoy firearms that function, have practicality. A lot of guys now just want something they can outperform when in reality it's just a showpiece. And then the gun looks like a huge gun. It's a full-size rifle. Nix, here's the way I'm going to put it. Almost every gun manufactured now will outshoot the person holding it. Almost. Not BB guns. Mechanic TP9 Elite or Springfield Mod 3? I'd probably go TP9 for the trigger. The Mosin M44 is awesome. It's worth getting. I'm not a old school gun guy. I bought those off a guy who was needing money. Sloth in the back chilling. That's what they do, Tristan. $200 a month. Shit's expensive. Shoot to train. Your gun is tested in the training. Yeah, 200 is actually a very solid number of rounds to shoot a month. I've had customers come to me after a year of owning a gun that have never fired it. I bought this for self-defense and I never shoot it. I need to sell it. How have you never shot a gun you've owned for a year for self-defense? What semi-auto shotgun would you pick? I personally like the 930 Tactical from Mossberg, but the 940, the A300 Patrol, and the 1301 are excellent steps up from there. And then the Benelli, if money's no object, but also the Orthos P4 or whatever that is a really solid one too. Outperforming the holder is some real wisdom of yeah, so like when you see me shoot and I don't hit the target every time, that's 100% me. Those are the best customers, I bet, who never shoot their guns. Yeah, because they take nothing. What do I think about the JTS? A guy did a 5,000 round burn down on the JTS 12 gauge AK shotgun, and it takes Sega mags, and it ran fine. Is the range good enough for self-defense practice? If you go to a range that allows movement. So when I do the review shooting on guns, I don't walk around much, but when I do personal training, I walk around obstacles, and since he has it set up for steel shooting, he's got barrels and garbage cans and obstacles that I can like stand behind, duck behind, kneel behind, shoot around, things like that. If you can go to a range that allows movement, then yes. Gun ranges are for functionality and practice with the handgun, if it's a static range. Are AR-style shotguns bad for civilians? No, there just aren't any really good, solid ones that I would trust my life with. 1,000 rounds a month is a lot. Crazy. I wish I could get that much rain time. It's because I'm trying to do the channel, dude. If I wasn't doing the channel, I wouldn't go that much. I would shoot 100 rounds a week, maybe. We just oil the inside of the Beretta barrel. It's nice, and the rifling looks so good. I'm happy, drunk. I'm very happy about that. I paid for a self-defense class but never went. That's when you buy guns, don't shoot it. Ha! Yeah. Bruv. Hey, Joel, what's up? Mausers have a gas vent hole in the case of a Pierce primer, so no hot gas in the face. Gas vent hole in the case. What? You said you were stopping. Yeah, I'll go to 11. 3 hours is solid. Would you rather carry a Glock 43X or a 509? Holy shit. He knows my weaknesses. I would rather carry the 43X because the slimline is probably better than the standard ones. But I would rather carry anything else. So do Enfields. Also, that weld is easily reversible. So you're in luck when you move. Every bolt gun except the Mosin. What? Bench or deadlift? Neither. I'm naturally this out of shape. The Mauser rifle has a vent hole. Okay. Details of all the guns is like algebra. I took basic math. Lol. Yeah, no, I saw the comment. Never mind, dude. I'll let you go and go on that. If it was green screen, trust me, dude, there'd be a lot more guns behind me, bro. The TLR7X sub. I've only had experience with the standard one. I like the TLR lineup, though. Streamlight actually does some pretty good stuff. There's a difference between fun while at the range and I trust my life to this. Again, yes. How about a 713? What are you talking about? Hell yeah, and it looks super legit. He did a great job on it. MDL, what is going on? Do you have the E11 blaster rifle? No. Is that what Mandalorian blaster? I've got the one that looks like Bill Burr's. I forgot to put it up there. Every damn World War II rifle has a vent hole unless you're Russian. Don't hurry. Any thoughts on the Holosun SES for a Glock 45? Holosun makes good optics, just in general. The fact that you're putting it on a gun is fine. You're doubling the value of the gun, in my opinion. What's the sexy silver beast of a pistol in the middle of the wall? Double stack 1911. That is a pretty cool unit. That is the Fusion Firearms XP Pro. It's a 2011 that takes Glock mags. I do need to do a little bit of work to it, though. The grip is a little bit and I talk about it in the video. I'll be doing that now that I've gone for first shots. I can modify it a little bit. Just based off pricing, I'm hitting about $500 a month. Don't really train with anything outside of my carry, which is a Colt King Cobra. You could save more if I did 38. Yeah, but it's kind of like when people ask me if I shoot reman stuff for practice. No, I shoot good stuff because when I'm practicing, I'm training. So I get where you're coming from. Shoot what you're actually wanting to shoot. Oh, Stormtroopers. No, sorry. Do not have a 44 Magnum anymore. What's your thoughts on Canik? I like Canik. Good guns. Oh, the E11 Blaster looks like the 3D printed right replica. Not finally. I sent you a pic of. Oh, gotcha. What do you think of 22 Hornet for Groundhog? Never shot Groundhog, but that's a fast cooking round. It'll do the job. Is CQC lessons in your state common? If so, is it worth for common civilian? Close quarter combat lessons? I don't know of anybody personally that does it. I mean, if you think that you might at some point need to clear your house if you live in an area of questionable quality, maybe. I'll be honest, one night I went to bed and left the front door to my gun store unlocked all night, so I didn't get robbed or killed or nothing. When are you going to get the Q35? I want the Q35 space modulator. I'm going to blow up the Earth. What's up, Doc? Got a good laser. I wouldn't put a laser on it unless you're going IR. Have you ever shot a gun without knowing there was a bullet inside? Yes, I ND'd a Tokarev TT-33 into my wall. Am I an uncut bad boy? I am Korean. I pretty much mastered iron sights on my pistols. Any advice about adding an optic? You did it the right way. Starting with irons and moving to an optic, it's going to take getting used to, but trust me, it's better that you learned with irons first, because when you learn with irons, you learn to present your firearm the same way every time so that you can get your irons in your eyes. So as long as you're co-witnessing or lollipopping that red dot right on top of your front sight, you'll always be able to find that dot quickly. Reckon I won't kill nobody. I ain't got no gas in it. I ain't got no bullets in it. Yeah. Firearms exist in Star Wars, known as slug throwers. Interesting. Hey, you ding. How am I doing today, brother? I'm going to subscribe. Thanks for the info. Subcompact or compact, any pistol you carry. If you're just buying one gun for self-defense, get a Glock. I know, hypocritical. It's not. I just say they're too expensive. Buy a used one. I'd get a compensator, honestly. If you go to Jiminy's house unannounced in the middle of the night, you'll get one free close quarter combat course with live fire. Pretty much. You got Dracos? No, I like guns that are good to shoot. So mine was an original TT-33, sorry. What are your thoughts on Kimber 2K11? I'm trying to get one. They told me they were going to send me one, but they keep putting me back on the list. Is it true all real gun guys have had an ND or an AD before? It's hard to really say because a bunch of lying bitches out there won't admit when they've ND'd. Unless they want to make a YouTube video on it, and I've never made a YouTube video. Check out some of your videos after stream. Thank you, CTV. What should I do with my P320? Put a flat-faced X trigger in it, solve the problem, and move on with your life. I have a Glock 26 that I carry. Emerus is okay. He's just trying to keep up with chat. I have a Glock 26. Every day I was right. You see the video of the guy who cheddar bobbed himself with the 320 trying to adjust the holster? No, honestly, I didn't, but it makes sense. I did not see Ballerina. Everyone make sure you like the live stream. Any guns Oh, a movie I can recommend, though? Novocaine with Jack Quaid. Dude, that movie is hilarious. If you ever saw the movie Guns Akimbo and you want to watch a movie that's kind of in that same vein of silliness, frickin' Novocaine, dude. Although it's very gruesome. All men negligent discharge the first time, but you get better at it. No, my problem the first time was that I fired all my rounds off too soon. Use Gen 3 Glocks or use it around 350. That's what I'm saying. If you can get one used and it's good, that's the way to go. Hi, Pappy. Hey, what's up, Joaquin? Ticklish? Oh, I'm so goddamn ticklish. Like, if a girl's kissing me just right, I start giggling like a fucker, and then I go into my gay voice to, stop it! Stop! Any guns you regret selling? Yes. I sold my Tactical Sport Orange to Stonehaven for way too little. Man, I ND'd into a cleaning barrel at the Thunder Ranch class, still embarrassing in a class setting. Yeah, well, like you say, dude, it's an ND. You didn't mean to do it, and you did something wrong to do it, but hey, at least you're owning up to it. It's like you put a red tip 308 through your window. Shit. So we used to ask this question to people when they come in, if they're really real men. Would you ever admit to shitting your own pants? And yes, I have shit my pants before. Where are you from? I'm from Austin, Texas. I'm up in Winchester, Virginia. You have a good night, man? It's all right, observer. 10 minutes to go. Tell him you will send the Night Stalker back, but send the orange first. Nah, he can have the Night Stalker back. I can get another one. I want that one because of what it signifies, though, so I'm going to keep talking to him. How smart are the criminals who post pictures posing with guns on Facebook? You just answered your own question. I got a tip for you. All right, DB, I'm surprised you're here. What's up? What's the tip? Me too after ousters. Nice. What a time to join. You betcha. Wait, typed that wrong. Yeah. I've shat myself. Okay, that's too graphic. All you got to say is you shat yourself. I'm going to have to give you the knife hand for that one. No. Hi from Shane in New Zealand. So that's New Zealand? You have any questions? Are there any hobbies? No, they're fictional. You ever seen a grown man naked? Naked Gun. Good one. Oh, Minnesota, eh? Yeah. Naked Gun with the point-blank shootout with the snub-nosed pistols. It's funny, yep. Did you see the upcoming trailer for Liam Neeson's Naked Gun? No super safeties? No. I got a binary. I don't need a super safety. Minnesota, eh? Oh, yeah, you betcha, don't you know? Did Bushmaster ever recover from the Connecticut lawsuit? Yeah. I mean, doesn't Stag Arms own... I think Stag Arms bought him or something. No, now I got a binary. Yeah. Hey, Jiminy, you remember me, right? It's been 3 weeks, and I can pick it up. I told him to send it back to a refund, and I guess he didn't, and my background check cleared, and I can go pick it up. Kryno, I remember you, but holy shit, dude. What do you think about the FTR triggers? FRTs are fine. They're a waste of money, though. 1911s are my favorite handgun platform. My neighbor said it was so loud the people she was on the phone with heard it. She was indoors. Yeah, luckily I was in the basement of my house when I ND'd with the Tokarev. 7.62 by 25 is a cooking-ass round, dude. What about Wisconsin there, bud? Oh, no, don't you know. You guys come over and you bring your cheese when we have our state fair, but I don't go over to Wisconsin for any kind of reason, you know, except for the fireworks. July 4th comes around, and us here in Minnesota, we're not allowed to have them. So we got to go over the border, don't you know? We're almost Canadian. We just don't say a boot. I don't believe in carry insurance. Carry insurance is for people that don't know how to find a lawyer. You have a wide open throttle? Nice. Do I like guns to what? Like do the dishes? You got to come to California for 4th of July. Nah, I'm good, man. What's wrong with M&P? Nothing. M&P's fine. Is the M&P 9 a good gun? The Prime? Don't know. I haven't shot the Prime. I've only shot the long slide. Yes, I agree. Illinois sucks. Oh, and for gun owners. What the fuck is carry insurance? USCCA. They advertise on YouTube all the time. Pay us for insurance, and if you get caught in a self-defense shooting and you have to hurt somebody or use your gun, we'll send a lawyer out to you. If you live in an area, learn who your lawyers are in the area. Find a 2A lawyer. Get to know them. Ask them if they'll get on retainer. Because they're literally going to call a lawyer in your area to come and work for you. And the fact that they're giving you bags and shit when you sign up, they're freaking NRA. But, you know, stupid. Almost finished my third and got the wrong trigger, and I'm missing the takedown lever. Damn, sounds like you got to go get some parts. I don't know much about firearms. Houston's going goddamn woke up. Yeah, no. My older sister is visiting from San Jose and staying in our guest room office. Hey, Mouse's sister. You hot? No, I'm just kidding. I got a girlfriend now. Don't stop believing. I don't recommend the M17. They have a shit trigger. FRT is a forced reset trigger. The design of a forced reset trigger, as soon as you pull it, it forces your finger out. So it's going as fast as you can basically twitch. I'm a lefty who wants to learn more about guns. No problem. Just pick up a gun, dude. You lost me when you said it was a waste of money. Please expand. Because shooting your ammo super fast is a waste of money. It's fun if you have it. If you got the money to waste on the ammo, it's great. Like, I don't even shoot binary because it just blows through ammo. I don't like to blow through ammo unless I'm proving a point. Also, when you own the FRT, let's say you own the FRT and your buddy wants to shoot your gun, how often does he buy your ammo? Mine never do. That's what I mean by it's a waste of money. Oh, she's in the other room. Mrs. Mouse, help her get her teaching credential or something. Nice. All my guns are deadly, and they're all legal. You're so nice, dude. I love your vibe. Thank you, Antonio. Spray and pay. Yep, pretty much. Okay, totally agree. Thank you. Yeah, switches, binaries, full auto pistols, they're all a waste of money. Although Stone's buying a Glock 18 as soon as my Class 3 comes through. Trigger on Beretta is good, too. I'm using some 3D printed TL22 long rifle snap caps. Yeah, so that was my buddy Alex, the one that made the Star Wars gun. He says the thing shoots awesome. It's just that I sold him a Taurus TX22. You have the MC9 LS. Any opinions? I like it, man. You know you can put the TP9 rival trigger in it, though? You should do that. Extractor is really strong. That's good. You want that. Thought it was illegal. No, they won their lawsuit, Joshua. Is that a full-size M1A, and do you like it? It is a full-size M1A. It is not mine. It's a friend of mine's. I put the scope on it, and we moved his front sight back so that he can run a dedicated suppressor mount. Look, if the ATF can write laws, the FRTs can write physics. I like the joke, but look at how many ATF laws keep getting overturned. It's dope as frick. Thank you. Yep. I run binary 22. That's a good use case for a binary. That's true. So if you put the FRT into an AR-22 with a 22 conversion on it, then I'd be okay. Is there a sub $500 2011? Not that I know of. The closest you can get is if you find a sale on the double stack 1911 from Rock Island. I've seen those at 600, but it's not a true 2011 because it's a single piece frame. Just got a job at a pawn shop. Why guns change so much in a decade? Times, man. People. YouTube, honestly. Light or no light? It doesn't really matter. I use a light because I hold out farther on the gun, so my finger is off the bottom of the trigger, so it just gives me some place to lock my finger in. How is the ATF legal? Because old white people wrote laws and created entities. That's it. Best $500 AR is Joe. Diamondback, DB15 or Radical Arms RF15. When you get your Class 3, you should go to full all lower and 22 LR upper. Yeah, trust me, I'll be talking to some people that want to come in on it. 2011 PSA Rock Island on Palmetto, $600. What I was saying, dude. You called it. I wanted to get into 2011, but not break the bank. Yeah, so here's where I'm going to put you, Crino. TSAS, double stack. That is a 2011 removable grip module, bull barrel. They sell for about $799. So it's a little more, but dude, for the money, for $800 and it's optics cut, that's the way I would go. Just scrolling and you came up, like your stuff, subbing, keep it up. Thank you, Jeff. Going back to pawn shop job, the ATF are girls. Yep. I have the Radical RF15. Yeah, it's a great AR. Bro, I made the PSA AR kit for maybe $400 off of bargain bin furniture. Nice. Rock Island 2011 is a thick boy. It is because it's based on the Para Ordnance 1911. It doesn't have the thinner body because it's all steel. No, sorry, Giovanni. I've got people that I had to take out of being mods because I had too many. Or you can get a Scotto P with the Aimpoint Acro mags. They're only about $100 each. What's the difference between a 2011 and a 1911? A 1911 has a slide and a frame. A 2011 has a slide, a mid-frame, and a grip module. The trigger is part of the grip module. The mid-frame is where the hammer, sear, and disconnector and the safeties are. And then the slide is just a standard 1911 slide. You're talking about Canik triggers being able to swap. You can use CZ and Metcars mags in any Canik. Yep, that is true. Joe wasn't SBS. SBRs originally like for Tommy guns because mobsters would use them. People thought they were scary. Yeah, so Tommy guns and a lot of SBRs were made that way because of also the Omerta shotguns. That's where that comes from, the sawed-off Omertas. I wasn't a fan. Use a slide and mag on a different project. Well, there you go, Merkin. You have a taser? Nope. Am I a fan of the SMO? What is that? Somalian Marine Organization? Help rebuild what wall? This wall. I took down all the guns that were for sale. This is my 2025 gun wall, and I need to fill it back up. So I need you guys to decide to help me. So if you pay for a gun, you get to pick the gun, and I'll put it up on the wall with your name scratched into the slide. If you just donate to the channel, you get a shout out. What's the benefit of the 2011? Because it sounds like it's just more complex. It's actually not more complex. The benefit to it is you can change the grips to anything you want. They're typically double stacked, so you get higher capacity, and you can tune them very easily, just like a 1911. They're really not that much more difficult because you're taking four screws off to take the grips off a 1911. You're only taking 3 off to take the grip module off of a 2011. The carry comps, I had one. They're fine. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of it. How does your 2011 shoot? Flat? Yes. If it was the comped version, it'd be even flatter, but it shoots very well. I do not want to join the military. I tried when I was 18, but I have medical problems. Thanks for the Q&A. Keep it up. I'm going to tune in more often. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 until 3 hours. I have a gun store, but this is my house. What are your thoughts on PSA Rock 5.7? I like the features for the money. Sawed-offs are for gangsters, silencers are for hitmen, and swords are for ninjas. Extractor on the bread is way stronger than my Ruger. Nice. All right, guys, it's 11. 2011s are not more prone to failures unless they have super tight tolerances, and then that's usually a function issue due to tolerance issues. They're available in 9 mostly, but 45, 10, 38 super. How do you feel about the Springfield Echelon? It's good. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to show you the wall one more time as I hit the X button. Why can you show your guns on videos instead of live? Because somebody killed themselves in a live stream. Which gun on your wall will you recommend is reliable and pass the drop test? The fact that you asked about the drop test, I'm not going to answer now. Sorry. Don't drop your gun. Period. Doesn't have to pass a drop test if you don't drop your gun. Don't drop that dun-dun-dun. All right, guys, so there's the wall. I'm going to get out of here. I don't know if I'm going to be on Friday. If I am, I'll leave a message on the post. See ya.